Everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcast. Yes, it is that time of year again. There's a show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, UFO Undercover, in the category of entertainment. UFO Undercover brings you some of the most revealing and current research that is being done with respect to alien abductions and contact. Host Joe Montaldo has been an abduction researcher for over 35 years and is uniquely qualified to bring you live interviews with some of the most well-known researchers in ufology. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate UFO Undercover in the category of entertainment. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and get out and vote now.
All right, everybody, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The Outer Realm in the category of Best Female Hosted Podcast. The Outer Realm is a very popular show hosted by Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano, which boasts millions of listeners each week who are well known for and have been complimented on their very laid-back, roundtable style of interviewing. Together, this dynamic duo brings you the best of the best with guests from around the world who are well-versed within their respective fields of ufology, paranormal, esoteric, and other areas of high strangeness, and more. So go to podcastawards.com to nominate The Outer Realm in the category Best Female Hosted Podcast. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and do it now. Hey there, it's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards. The News on the Flipside, in the category of politics and news. News on the Flipside is a much different news and political program which is not deemed as opinion news. Listen as Joe Montaldo brings to you just the facts from trusted sources which will allow you, the people, to make up your own minds on the various stories being reported on. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate News on the Flipside in the category of politics and news.
It's time for you to get out and nominate your favorite podcasts. There's an amazing show I want you to consider for the People's Choice Podcast Awards, Writers and Illustrators of the Future Podcast, in 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. For 4 years, the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast has provided advice and tips from international best-selling authors, world-class artists, contest judges and winners, and industry professionals based on the world-famous Writers of the Future contest created in 1983 by L. Ron Hubbard to help the aspiring writer and artist no matter their age. It is dedicated to the future of storytelling and art by showing that it is never too late to start, and those who make it are those who never give up. Go to podcastawards.com to nominate the Writers and Illustrators of the Future podcast in any or all of the 3 categories: education, storyteller drama, and art. That's podcastawards.com, and please take a moment and go out and vote now.
That's right, Emily. You tell them, get your ass out there and vote. I'm telling y'all, you don't want to hear me whine the rest of the year. You only got to August 1st. If we don't win something, I'm going to whine the whole entire rest of the year. And you know you don't want to hear that. I mean, even Jim's like, no, I don't want to hear it either, man.
We just met, and I don't want to hear you whine until August 1st.
Look, come on. Now get out. I have got like 4 runners up now, which I'm happy with runners up and whatever the other one is they call it we got. I'd like to win one of them at least. You know, what do you mean, Darryl? No, only 2 of my shows are up there. Technically, I host 4, but right now I'm only hosting 2. Yes, just vote. Look, just go to our website, click on the pretty little podcast button, bloop, it'll bring you right there, and you can vote. Say, I love you, JoJo, and vote. You can vote for John and the other ones, too. You can vote for everybody. That was a shithole question. We have just Jim Meskimen with us tonight. I actually got to see Jim at the Writers of the Future Gala this year, which he was cracking me. I'm not even gonna lie, and his voice is excellent. So since then, I've talked with John Go and a few other people, and they were telling me he has a wide range of voices. So we're gonna see if we can coax some of them out of him tonight. Frankly, Jim, first off, how did you even get into doing voices? I mean, if I do more than 3 voices, my voice goes like, it just leaves. What did I do?
Well, I just I used to. It was fun for me. I was a kid, and I used to play around trying to make my friends laugh, imitating people on TV, and I don't know. I just did it as kind of a fun thing to do, and later on, it became a profession. So I got started in New York by mostly doing voice work, radio, and some impressions, but not tons of them, but different kind of things, and got into improv. And in my later years, in my I don't know if this is my third act or not, or how many acts I get, but in my later years, I've been concentrating on the impressions because that seems to be the thing that most people notice and take a lot of joy in. So I'm happy to provide it.
And like you saw me at the Writers of the Future, I worked in my little Patrick Stewart impression because I thought that particular crowd of science fiction aficionados would be very receptive.
I'm thinking Patrick would be very receptive too. I was like, actually, I hate to say it, you sound more like Patrick Stewart now when he was on Generation than he does today. So.
Well, of course, that's the difficult thing, isn't it? Is that the equipment starts to age, and then
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love him to death, and but it was a great impression, guys. And you got to remember, this is a packed gala. There's no room in there. Every table is packed. God knows who was in there. There's some famous people. There's some winners and losers. There's some people all over the place. There's crazy people like the press, like myself in there, and some others. What do you mean? No. Before we even go any further, that's my table. No bullshit. So this is how this worked out. First year I was sitting with the judges. Second year I sit with the judges. Third year I said, well, you know what? Since I'm the only consistent, me and B's the only two consistent things to this table, this is our table. Yes, I confiscated that damn table. You damn right I did. It's one of the best seats in the house. I mean, come on. I'm sitting right up on the stage. I get to see everything. I don't want to be in the middle. I don't like being in the middle. I like being right where I'm at. They get lots of pretty shots of my scary face. It works out real well. No, what do you mean? No, Jim was on the stage, not me. I don't go on the stage. It's not that I do a lot of lecturing people. So it's not like I'm scared to be on the stage. It's just I'm not there to be on the stage. But Jim was there. Everybody was there. It was great. Everybody was dressed nice. Everybody had the best behavior on, which is amazing to start off with. And like I said, there's a lot of famous people. You'd be surprised. There was a lot of press there this year. There was a lot of foreign press there this year. There was just a lot of press in general. So if you're there, like Jim's up on the stage, he's doing his interview. So any of these presses that are watching him going, damn, this guy's good right off the bat. And, today's the world of instant knowledge. And where's it at? Instant knowledge. I mean, it's not like the old days where you got to go home or go to the library. So, let me see who this person is. And while you're watching them, it's a different world today. It definitely makes things easier. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it makes things easier. So you sound like you have not had a long career in all of this. So when you started out, you were doing voiceovers and stuff like that?
Yeah, I started in New York. My mother is an actress, as I think you know, and so I had some insight into the world of entertainment, but I had to make my own way of it, and I did it in New York rather than Los Angeles, where my mom got started. And in New York, I got into improv and did live shows every weekend, and with my couple of different groups, and also in the week, during the week I would go around audition for radio commercials and voiceovers and TV commercials, and I did a number of them in the 80s and 90s, and then came back to LA and started working on TV right away. I worked on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in a pretty well-known episode where Will Smith goes to college briefly. He didn't go to college very long. Maybe he should have gone a little longer.
A little bit longer, yeah.
I was his Western philosophy professor who did impressions, and so that was a fun show. And then ever since, I've done little appearances here and there. I've been on a few series. I'm on a series right now called The Big Door Prize on Apple TV Plus, where I play the father of Chris O'Dowd, the very charming Irish comic actor. And
I love the accent. Man.
Yeah, for that.
Wait! While we're on this, you're the first Irish accent I've ever been able to understand. So that's a plus. We get a lot. We bring on.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's not as difficult as a Scottish accent. That's
even
really
worse.
Need subtitles for.
No, Scottish, you just need to throw some rocks in your mouth and start talking. It's
let's not disparage our brethren in Scotland.
No, I love them. We have a lot of guests from Ireland and Scotland, and I actually got a lot of heritage from there. So, but the thing of it is. I have a coon-ass accent, so mine's bad enough. So you got me already talking with half people in the world can't understand me. And then you've got, Jackie on, and he's got his accent is, I got to stop him every once in a while just to catch up to know what he's talking about. I'm thinking, I stopped one day in the middle of the show. I said, "Does anybody in the audience even know what the hell we're talking about?" But we had a big audience. I'm not gonna complain, but still, it's strange. So I mean, for accents, how do you? I mean, do you listen on TV, or does it just come in your head? Because I can do like an Indian accent, but that's just for too many hours on the phone fighting with customer service. It's I think that's just sticking in my head.
And I'm sure there's somebody in Mumbai that knows how to talk like.
I bet she does
like
have to listen to me. Well,
Yeah.
I can be mean, and since I own and I tell them, I said, "Look, I don't care who you are. Before you start fighting with me, you go over your computer and you type in my name because I don't want you to get fired for being stupid. So go over there and type in my name." I said, "You notice how many times it came up, and you notice it says radio TV station." I said, "Are you sure you want to go here with this argument?" I said, "Because I'm recording everything. So are you sure?" And it's like, "Oh well, Mr. Montaldo, let me go ahead and give you this." I've literally AT&T gave me
I
AT&T
understand.
gave me 2 years of free service. So did T-Mobile, and
Well, yeah. To answer your question, I find the best way to learn an accent is, if possible, the very best way is to go to the country and talk to the people there. Second best way is to meet someone from that country and get to know them and talk to them and really understand who they are as a person and observe them. That's also sometimes tricky to do in a hurry. The other thing, YouTube is a fantastic resource.
That's true.
So I'm always on YouTube. And when I hear an interesting accent, I will listen to, like, a lot of times I get requests from my agent or from other producers to do a particular kind of voice, and they'll give me a reference. They'll say, it's like this actor. And I'll go and I'll look him up, and I'll look for interviews in which he was speaking a lot, and, look at his mouth and look at the way he expresses himself, how he sits and what his general attitude is, and even how's his health, how does he hold his body, little things like that all affect the sound, and that's how I gather more information, and then I just try to do the best I can. But it's very difficult to completely duplicate another person and make an absolutely flawless impression. That's pretty out of touch, but you can do something that is enough to have some fun, like when I used to do Robert De Niro quite often. And I'll tell you something, it's I think if you put the two of us side by side, it'll be pretty easy to tell.
Maybe in looks, not in accent. That's excellent.
And we're meeting here, you're talking about the writers of the future, and this is the book that came out. You have it right back there. This is a little closer for people that are interested in actually reading what it says. And I had a really great honor of being able to do something that they've never done before. Every year they publish this anthology, which is all the top winners of the contest, plus some of the judges. And they've done it for 39 years. This was the first year in which they actually put out an audiobook presentation of it, and a full production. And my wife, my daughter, and I, we're all narrators. We got to collaborate on this, and we read every story in the book. And it's our family narrating.
Well, I should get a commission off this now. Half the reason they did this is because I bitched nonstop for the last 3. I don't have time to read anymore. I just don't.
Yeah.
So, if you looked on my desk right now, you'll see audio things all over it, because in the old days, because I used to like to read, but I just, my life has got to the point where, but I have an hour drive every morning going and coming. So
it's perfect for audio.
Put on, I can chill. It's something nice to listen to. I can just listen, I've been listening to Mission Earth, which is ungodly huge. And I've been having fun listening to, I think I'm in chapter 4 right now. People, y'all don't even want to know. It's like 250,000 words.
Have you out of curiosity, you're listening to the new Mission Earth, the fully?
Yeah, the one. Yeah. So John gave it to me a while back on a pad.
So you're a lucky man.
Yeah. So, and then
that's another project I got to work. I narrated
the audio effects are fabulous. I mean, I don't want to get too off track, but
yeah.
First off, the protagonist in it is, I don't like giving things away, but guys, he's just a moron. But anyway, he just is. I'm sorry, but there's no way I can explain this to you.
He's called a flawed. That's called a flawed narrator. He's talking about the scenes, and you see his, all the chinks in his moral armor. He's a villain. He's a villain. The story. Yeah, and I got to play that part, and I really had a great time.
Oh, that's man! I just, so all the voices I've liked so far. I haven't heard anything I haven't liked. The audio effects are excellent, and I catch myself, because I've been listening to it for a while now. I think it's either chapter 4 or 5 I'm in, and they're already in Earth. But anyway, so I'll catch myself going, I guess I'm just dazing out and I'm seeing it as I'm listening to it. I got a good imagination to start off with, but it's very pleasant to listen to. Well, we do stuff for Galaxy Press and Arthur Services, like, Mission Earth, not Mission Earth, Battlefield Earth. We play the entirety, the whole 40 hours every year before Christmas and before New Year's. I also play, Orson Welles' War of the Worlds. I've been playing Orson Welles forever, but this is a nice thing to drop in there doing. I mean, it's the holidays. We only got X amount of listeners during holidays anyway. So, and only certain shows are going to have big listens, because the paranormal stuff, nobody's listening to that. They're off doing happy Christmas stuff. So, other than that, we're just giving stuff away, but it works out really nice. So we just pop it in there, we let it play, and I let it correlate. It ends about 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve, that run, and then the other one ends on Christmas Eve, about 11 p.m. on Christmas Eve. So I've had people write to me and say it's Christmas Eve and they're listening to the end of it. And I'm like, really? Because I didn't have no idea how many people were going to listen. Come to find out, quite a few people listened. So it was a very pleasant surprise. And that's another one that has tons of voices, tons of special effects. I mean, all I can tell you, people, is you got to listen to it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, Battlefield Earth, we won an Audie Award for it. I directed it. It's 47 and a half hours.
I love you, man. You can become my new best friend, man. Well, because really, truly, I listen to a lot of stuff. And sometimes I get someone's voice that I can't listen to. I'm not going to lie. It's grating, or it's irritating, or it's whatever. Or sometimes I got a friend of mine who reads professionally, but he's from up north. And he likes to pause too much between words. And so I told him one day, I said, dude, I can't listen to your stuff. He's like, why? I said, because I can listen to a lot of stuff in Wade and New Orleans and back and get it through. I said, I get like 15 minutes out of audio on an hour drive. I said, you got to quit that. Oh, no, but it sounds more professional. I said, whatever. I'm just telling you, I can't listen to it. Because he does. It's like, well, and they were walking down, and then, they were walking down the street, and then he paused again. I'm like, stop it. And, but I mean, people hire him. He makes good money. So obviously somebody somewhere is listening to it. It's just not me.
Well, we narrators are paid by the finished hour, so I think he's probably just trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe he is. I don't know. It drives me crazy. It reminds me of one of the Kennedys sometimes, though. What do you say, Jackie? No, some of the Kennedys like to. Well, no, there's a whole group up in the Northeast that speak that way. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way they speak. And it's. You mean like I'm going to go potty in a car around the corner? Yeah, Boston people are strange. I got a lot of friends in Boston, so I can get away with that. But yeah, but everybody in this country's got a different accent. For someone like Jim, it's got to be a ball. Because, I mean, as you travel around, you see, if I'm traveling a lot, my friends will go, Joe, your accent's gotten really weird. Some people, you sound like you're from England. You're from here or there. Well, I'm from New Orleans, and when I'm at home, it's a Couillon accent. And but when I'm traveling after, I'll spend a couple of weeks, maybe a week or two in New York, and then a week or two up north, and then a week out in New York. I mean, in California, and then maybe another week in Florida. Of course, it's going to be whacked. I've been talking to 500 million different people with 500 different accents. It just, and I'm really bad about that. When I'm talking to people, I want to take on their characters. Maybe I miss my calling.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm not good at it, though.
If I can get a word in, I do owe you, I don't owe you a commission, but I owe you some thanks for getting Galaxy Press to publish an audiobook version of Writers of the Future, Volume 39, because we had such a great time doing it. And talking about accents, I found that in the stories that I was reading, some of them are first-person narratives. Mm. And so that's a character. It's not just a narrator. It's not a standard kind of middle-of-the-road voice. And so I had to kind of choose, and my daughter did this too, what sort of character, and maybe that character had a little accent. There was one about that really took place in medieval England, and it had dragons and sorcery and stuff like that. And for that, I used, the sort of English voice that I would have liked to listen to a story, someone telling something very, very profound and very sophisticated. And I trust that I do it well enough so that people aren't distracted by it, and that I can actually impart the story in a very, very realistic
sort of way. I can listen to that voice.
Yeah, I hope so. And there was another one. There was a guy who was kind of like a working class guy who worked on this planet and had all these problems. And, I just kind of brought it in a little bit more like this. And it's great to embody a character for a narrator. Not all of them, but a lot of the stories required a little bit of nuance like that. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can kind of feel the character, kind of get into it.
Yeah, and
Look,
it's an artistic choice. There's no right or wrong. It's just like, well, what, and we didn't. They just kind of let us. They trust us at Galaxy, so they let my wife Tamara and my daughter Taylor and I make our own choices about things, and they liked what we did, I think, and I hope the listeners will.
Well, I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to get John to send me a copy of it. And I'll get you back on after I listen to it, because I'm gonna probably love it.
Please.
But I mean, like when you were doing the British accent, no, I mean, that's an accent I could listen to. I mean, now I'd have to be careful, because if I started listening too deeply, I'd kind of get a little relaxed. So, but I
don't operate heavy machinery while listening.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just it's not, it doesn't aggravate you. I mean, because some accents can just rub you the wrong way. What's that, Denise? I will ask him. So Denise is, first off, she wanted to know how many years you've been doing this. That's a personal question, just in general, and being in this kind of industry, I guess, is what she was wanting to know.
Okay, yeah, I've been an actor for about 36, 37 years, and I've really done a lot of audiobooks since around 2009, 2008, 2009. I've done a couple hundred, maybe.
Man, you got to send me
more than that. A lot of books. If you go on audible.com and type in Meskimen, you'll find all the ones my daughter's done. She's also an award-winning narrator, and you'll find a ton of mine. And there's fiction, nonfiction, stories, interesting ones, a lot of Westerns. I just finished a series of Westerns for another publisher, and I did a lot of voices on everything that Galaxy has put out. I directed all the L. Ron Hubbard pulp fiction novels, and did voices, in there as well, because we always needed.
Well, let me ask you this. So I got a pad from them that's got everything L. Ron Hubbard's ever done on it.
iPad.
I'm sorry.
iPad.
Yeah, the iPad. So it's completely loaded. They sent it to me a while back.
Yeah.
And it got stolen. I got it back. This long stuff. But anyway.
Yeah. I had one too that got stolen.
Did you see? Yeah. That's just weird. So, I mean, he sends me this big old pad with everything on it. So I'm going through it. And at first I didn't realize, I thought it was going to all be, you were going to have to read everything. And then I noticed there was a very large audio section. And then I noticed the very thing, and John sent me a note, Enjoy Mission Earth was on it. And, but the sad part is I didn't get to listen to it on that. I'm actually listening to it via my phone off of, they've got an app somewhere for it.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to it on that, but I mean, man, if that's you, that's just great. I've been enjoying the whole
I'm all over that. Yeah, it was a great project. I worked on it for about 3 years, 6 days a week. I worked with terrific actors, Corey Burton, Fred Tatasciore, Rob Paulson, Nancy Cartwright, top voice actors, top narrators too of audiobooks. And I learned a lot. I tell you, for me, it was really interesting to. And when you direct an audiobook, you're not direct. You don't have the time to really craft something and direct with, keep real tight reins on it. What you're trying to do is just make sure that the message of the story is being transmitted in a clear way. And you hire actors that are terrific, and then you just kind of let them do it. And if they skip a word or something, you'd say, hey, you skipped this word. So that was my directing style. But I learned so much by watching and listening to these terrific professional audiobook narrators. And I steal from them every day. It's a wonderful art form, and it has a lot of subtlety to it. And, I'm like you, I hear a voice, a narrator, and I really like that voice a lot. Others I'm not so fond of. I'm sorry, I'm not going to listen to the story because I don't want to have your voice in my head. But most of the ones I'm just love. And when I run across a really great narrator, like Grover Gardner, for example, is just fantastic. And you can listen to them for hours effortlessly. It's wonderful. And they give you the information. They tell you the story. They help you feel the emotions. And, there's no irritation or.
No, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I really was surprised myself. I started listening to audiobooks probably around 30. I'm old these days, but probably around 35, 36. And I remember the first one anybody ever sent to me was in Microsoft Sam. I said, I will never, ever, ever listen to another one as long as I live. And then a couple of weeks later, a friend of mine sent me one. I forgot his name, but big old guy. and he had a fabulous voice. It was very deep, very soft at the same time. It was a great book. So I was like, wow, okay. And then after that, I found myself getting hooked more and more. So like with you, so with Mission Earth, well, let's go back to Battlefield Earth. With Battlefield Earth, I hate to say this out loud, John's gonna probably smack me, but I find the audio is better than the movie. I'm enjoying it far more than I did the movie.
Well, there's something about audiobooks that is always and physical books that you hold in your hand.
Yeah.
The process of reading, like reading, something from this anthology, is that when you read the words, they trigger your imagination, and you see a movie in your mind that nobody else would see. You see characters, you hear them in your mind. And in an audiobook, okay, we supply the dialogue, we supply the narration, but the images come to you in your own imagination, in your own mind's eye. And that's always going to be better, I think, pretty much, than any movie Hollywood could ever conceive of, because it's unique to you. You cast it the way you want. You see it the way you want. And it's really made to order. It's like your own little AI experience that's completely designed for you.
Well, I'm enjoying it. It's all I can tell you. It's now I've listened to Battlefield Earth twice now, but and it's weird because what I'll do is during the holidays, I get a lot of free time, so it'll be playing for the station, and I'll just have it playing through my house. I got an intercom system, so I'll just, as I'm going through, I'm listening. Let's drive some of my family crazy, but we're not going to go there.
It tickles me. It tickles me that you listen to this over the holidays because it's the bleakest story, mankind.
It is, but it's a good story for the holidays.
The edge of extinction, with these
it's
horrible.
Hope.
But yeah, it does eventually produce hope. That's right,
Yes.
And by the end, it's a great rebirth. Yes. So that's true.
It's just there's just so much more in it than there was in the movie itself. I don't, people. I'm not hating on the movie. I watched the movie. Personally, I think John Travolta wasn't the right guy for that, but and I think the movie should have been a trilogy. I'm just going to be honest about it. Well, I've read the book. That's the problem. When you read the book, it should have been not. It just should have been spread out more. And
well, I recommend your listeners have a listen to the audiobook.
Yes, I do too.
Battlefield Earth. We had some of the greatest voice actors in that show, and for very key parts. We had Scott Menville played Johnny Goodboy Tyler. He's a magnificent actor and a magnificent voice actor. He's in tons of animated series that your listeners probably love. Corey Burton is in it. He's fantastic. There's a guy named Charlie Davis who plays Turl, the main alien, who is actually a singer, but he's also a very gifted actor. And I spent hours and hours in the booth with him. Even our narrator, Josh Clark, who had never done an audiobook before, but is a great stage actor. And I've noticed that really good stage actors make terrific narrators because they know how to craft emotions very well with their voice. That's the job of a stage actor. And so I'm very, very pleased with how that turned out. So I recommend you go to Galaxy. What is it? Galaxy
Press. Well, just go to galaxypress.com.
Yeah, and look up Battlefield Earth. You'll enjoy it so much. When I say enjoy it, you'll be on the edge of your seat thinking that mankind is going to be obliterated, and then you'll have a great release at the end when it doesn't.
Come on, people. Y'all know I never endorse anything. It's a great one. So on the website, on our main website at uprn.com, these books are already linkable. You can go there. It'll take you right to the site. It'll take you straight in, so you can get the audio book or the regular book, or you can get it there's lots of ways to get it. Just go over to galaxypress.com because you can get it on a pad, you can get it on a stick, you can get it an audio, you can get it in book. I don't know if they got a hardcover. Now I give John all the time that I want a hardcover. I want hardcover and everything. So, but I don't think they do. If they did, I'd have one sitting right behind me. Trust me, I'd want until he gave me one. Give me one just to shut me up. No, I think it's a great profession, and all I can tell y'all guys is go listen. Look, it's going to be on for the week before Christmas and the week before New Year's. Okay, it's going to play all the way through. It plays in the evening. It plays 8 hours. I think it runs I think it starts at 4:00 and runs for 8 hours. Go listen to it. You can go. I just turn it on and I'm listening to it while I'm walking through my house, piddling around, working on my computer, doing this, that, other thing. Now this gentleman's in it now. There's great sound effects. There are great voices, and I'm telling you, even if you're not paying attention, if you're just doing your thing, you're going to find yourself in this world. That's all I can tell you. I can't. There's no more endorsement I can give you than that. You're going to find yourself. You may be in the front making cookies. You may be making cocktails. You're just going to find yourself. And by the way, last year in my house, I had about 35 people there while this was playing. And everybody's like, what the hell is that? What? They're just listening. And I come in my living room 2 or 3 times. It was quiet. I'm like, what the? They're listening.
Wow.
So it's a great thing. And when you can get Mission Earth, we're just lucky and got it early. I don't know when y'all going to get it, but eventually you're going to get your hands on it. And Mission Earth, it's a lot of, I don't want to give away. It's just a lot of fun. Okay. When you follow
this satire, it's a satire.
Is.
It's a science fiction satire. It's the last thing that Hubbard wrote before he left this life. And it is an incredible piece. But in the meantime, pick up some of this L. Ron Hubbard's Writers of the Future. You can either get it in this paperback form, like Joe said, or you can get it in audiobook. And I'd love to know what your viewers think of our rendition as a family.
I'm gonna have to call April, Sarah, and tell them to do a picture of you, what they think you look like in character. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to call them and ask them to do that. I don't know what character they would pick, but so as Carol asked this earlier and I forgot, she said, "What is your favorite character to do, or do you have a favorite?"
Oh, of like impressions to do?
Yeah.
Well, I do like doing Patrick Stewart a lot, but I tell you, the one I get the most charge out of is doing Robin Williams. I've done Robin Williams' voice a few times, and he's a guy
that's pretty good.
People still really remember with a lot of reverence and respect and so forth. So that's one I think is always a big favorite.
He does kind of look like him in the face. Wait. Donnie said, Donnie, where are you from? Donnie's from the UK, so he's actually from London. He said, Joe, I don't know if it's his voice or he kind of looks like the guy. I'm like, so I wasn't paying attention. I was just listening to the voice, and I looked back. I said, he does kind of look like the guy. I apologize for interrupting you, but when he said that, I had to say something.
No, that's okay. That's I hear that a lot, and that's part of creating the characters. You have to try to be these people as much as possible, and that translates into physical changes, a transformation. It's a little Jekyll Hyde thing that happens. It's just part of the game.
You're thinking, no, Jackie, that's Mork and Mindy. Sorry, I couldn't get that out for some reason. I wanted to say Orc and something. I don't know where that came from. Yes, Mork and Mindy when he was an alien. Yes, that's it's the same voice, doofus. Never mind. We're just gonna not pay any attention to that. We're just gonna move on. What do you got? Sarah Cleveland. Sarah Cleveland, where are you from? Seattle, Washington. Well, hello, Seattle. How's things going up there? I know it's pretty early for you. It's like 7:30 or something, huh? What do you got? Who? Wait. I don't even know who that is. Oh, okay. I'll ask him. So she was asking if you do any type of like musicians or artists like that. Do you do any?
Oh, like singing ones? Yeah, sure. I do support Paul McCartney. Woo! I like to sing like that.
That's good.
Yeah. In my live show, my live Jimpression show, I do a lot of different entertainers: Frank Sinatra, Bob Dylan, and some of the classics. Yeah, I just anyone I admire, I want to be.
That's great. No, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
No, Jackie, that's not Sarah from California. That's Sarah. That's the other Sarah. No, you're getting confused. Yes. Oh no, Jim probably met Sarah from California. Yes. Have you ever met little Sarah out? She works for Galaxy Press and Writers of the Future. She's like the freaking whirlwind, is what she is.
Yeah. Yeah. I know Sarah. Sure.
I love Sarah to death. What are y'all talking about, people? She is their probably number one salesman at Galaxy Press. Oh yeah. I watch her when I was at Dragon Con last year with him. I was like, damn, girl, do you even take a breath? She's good. Rocky Ricky, is that like Rocky and Carlo, or maybe like Rocky and Bullwinkle? Was what we were going for?
Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone, Rocky. Or that franchise, yeah, sure.
Or Rocky and Bullwinkle, which is a completely different sort of voice entirely.
I can hang out with you all the time, man. You drive me crazy. It's yeah, I know he did it good. So that's his screen name is Rocky and Bullwinkle. So obviously he's a big fan, and Rocky, that gives our age away when you say Rocky and Bullwinkle, right? Just in case you didn't know.
I think our video gives our age away.
Yeah, I think it does just fine. I don't even know who to tell you're talking about. Oh, you mean I'm sorry. Where are you from, Lenny? Where are you writing in from? Oh, New Orleans. Well, hey, Lenny, how you? Oh, are you Lenny from the feed place? The G. Yeah, how you doing, man? Long time no see. He was asking, do you do any Marvel characters? Lenny, you're
Yeah.
too old for Marvel
Yes,
characters.
I do Ultron for Marvel games. I've done
Oh.
Ultron many times for games, and also the series Marvel Avengers Assemble.
Uh-oh. He's not playing around, people. You better watch out. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, if you don't know which ones he was talking about, then you're not a true Marvel fan, so I can tell you. Yes. No, but I don't know every Marvel movie ever made, but I know a lot of them. I'm a Marvel and DC fan. You can't go either way. Superman. Now, how can he do Superman? There's like 15 different Supermans. I mean, how would you do that? I mean, literally, there's like 15 different Supermans. And they all are way different. I mean, you got the original guy, and then you've got God knows how many since then.
And he's all the actors that play Superman latterly, recently, they're not particularly known for their voices, are they?
They're not. They're
Batman
known for their looks.
Batman. We know Batmans. We know different ones. They all kind of sound like this.
You can get away with that.
I don't know. Someone needs to give Batman a lozenge.
Oh, well, you know who that sounds like? It sounds like, I was ready to say it sounds like the Kennedy guy and the new guy running for president.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I shouldn't pick on that man because he's got a gargly voice, really.
Well, he had a neurological disease, so it's really not too.
Oh, I remember him talking about it, and he's a brilliant guy. No, I agree, Stephanie. It's going to keep him from being elected, but yeah, it's bullshit. It shouldn't be like that, but it is. It's just the way life is in our country, unfortunately. No, but we're growing. Give us another 200 years or so. We're growing. I mean, Jim's proof of we're growing because we can make everybody in the country laugh. So, and as far as I'm concerned, laughter is one of the greatest healers. So,
that's for sure. Yeah. No.
So wait, hold on. Let me scroll back. Then I missed this question. So Nella, is that how you say it? Nella is writing in from Spain. And she wanted to know, do you have any favorite world leaders that you like to do?
Hola, viví en España unos años. Leaders, let's see, world leaders.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if he's my favorite or not, but this fella, now, okay. You're talking about Spanish. There's a guy in that White House.
Jesus.
Right now.
Oh, we're both going to hell for this. That was great. I love that, by the way. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly who that was. Who do you think it was? Frank Sinatra? What the hell are you talking about? Oh my God. It's a good thing I know most of y'all are educated people that come to this chat group. I'm just saying. It's
well, I don't know a lot of the I don't know the voices of the other outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So that's an omission, but that's typical of a lot of us Americans, is that we're not even up on who the president of France is, I don't know who's in charge in Spain right now. I don't either. Is Juan Carlos still el rey de España?
Yeah, I have no idea who's. I don't pay that much attention.
I lived there in the early 80s. I lived in Madrid and I lived in Galicia.
Oh, yeah,
and back then the socialists were just taking over, and I don't know how they left the country, if they left it in any kind of condition or if they are still there. But Juan Carlos was the king, and I don't know. He may still be the king. I don't know.
He may be. But Denise, no, I don't. Most Americans don't pay that close of attention to politics unless there's something going right. Like we all know Lazinski's name because there's a war going on. We all know Putin's name because he's insane. But other than that, I couldn't tell you who the Prime Minister of Australia was. Oh, I do know Pink Shorts, who runs Canada. Okay, Justin Trudeau, I know him because I like to make lots of fun of Trudeau. And but other than that, I couldn't tell you. Jim probably knows more people than I do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, we got Raul. That's when you ought to learn how to do is Raul Castro.
Is he Fidel's brother? Is he still ruling over?
Yeah, he's still and he don't want to let go because the granddaughter or the daughter, whatever she has said, as soon as he dies, she wants to become a state of the United States. So I was like, oh,
Well,
yeah, here we go.
it's a big change.
Yeah, that is a big change. Carlos said, oh, okay. No. Yes, I remember you. You're from Mexico City. Is that right? Okay. Santa Claus. How do you do an accent for Santa Claus?
It's a funny thing. I get auditions, especially around October, September, October. They start to create the auditions, commercials for different companies with the Santa Claus voice. And you get this all the time, and it says we want him to sound like Santa. I'm like, well, which Santa? Well, it's almost like Batman or Superman. You're like Burl Ives, or what?
And I don't know. I do my best. For me, Santa is a kind of a deeper voice fellow that goes, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
But I don't know. I never get those roles. I rarely have won a part as Santa, and I always, for a moment,
because I'm with you. How do
them
you?
in my head,
Yeah, because actually that's a pretty good one, but I would not even know how to. I mean, there's just too many Santas, and unless we're going back old school, 50, 60, 70 years ago, maybe we might get something out of there. But
it's a job that's open to some lucky person.
Yes. So get out there, people, and get the Santa Claus job. What was that? Where are you from, Ronnie? New York City. Are you really from New York City? I don't believe you, man. No, I'm just teasing. I was gonna say your accent don't sound like it, but that would have drove you crazy. What do you got for us tonight? He's saying he's from New York. He said, while you were there, did you pick up any of the borough accents?
When you're in New York, you meet so many people, and you don't necessarily know, are they from Staten Island? Are they from Queens? Are they from Jersey? I never really picked apart all these different boroughs and areas, but I know there's a lot of great people there. It's a great town. It's Manhattan, where I lived. I lived most of the time in Manhattan. Okay, it's a place where if you say anything about the people there, that they love other people. They love being around humanity on account of, they're jammed up next to people all day long. So I know it's not, I forget your question, but anyway, that's how I feel.
Who said that? Somebody in the room just said, Wilford Brimley. That's what they think of Santa.
Oh, okay. Wilford Brimley, sort of a cranky Santa.
There you go. Maybe he's grumpus and not Santa, people.
Don't leave me any cookies. Don't leave me any cookies and milk. Just leave me some oatmeal.
Ronnie, I did have a couple of hosts from Staten Island. We still do have a couple of hosts from Staten Island. They're living in Pittsburgh right now. They live in the Horseshoe Chronicles home. You should read about it. It's no, they have a weird accent. You know what? One of our station managers, Stephanie Benetti, who's passed now, was from Staten Island, and whose accent was worse than mine, which is hard to believe. I know, but we had a good time. Oh, I used to drive her crazy because she talked one way, I talked another way, and the deep south and the high north, all the words don't mean the same thing. What can I tell you? You want to take Jim home with you? I think he got a wife. He might not appreciate it.
Well, please visit my YouTube channel and also follow me on Instagram at Jimpressions and also on TikTok. And it'll be just like I'm in your home.
Now, do you do Elvis? I just seen something in the room. That's what made me think about it.
Well, I think the king is someone that a lot of people impersonate, Yeah. I think it's one of the most misunderstood artists in the history of entertainment.
I worked on the Elvis movie a little bit. I did. If you watch the Elvis movie, the recent one, the Baz Luhrmann one, there's a scene at the end after he passes where Jimmy Carter is heard giving a sort of a testament or a tribute to Elvis, saying that he was one of the great figures in American music. And that was me. I worked with a bunch of actors putting in a lot of voices to pad out the narration of that show.
It's well, I mean, you've got. I mean, do you ever sleep, man? I mean, really? You sound like John and I. Yeah, I know.
I'm completely asleep right now.
I'm thinking you sound like John and I. You can't sit still for very long. Join the club, I guess. Jesus. Actually, Kara, is that how you say it? Yeah, Kara. The group over at Writers of the Future and Author Services, they don't sleep. They're freaking vampires, man. They don't know. I love them people to death, but they don't sleep. No, Jesus, no. I'd get up. I'd be up at 6, go have breakfast. John's already down there having breakfast with Emily. Emily Goodwin, by the way, who's going to come in later on tonight. And, all the crew would already be milling around. Joni I don't know. Joni is the most craziest moving person I've ever seen. I'm pretty old. Joni's older than I am. And she's just, Jesus, that girl just cannot sit still.
When you do what you love, you have a lot of energy.
And she does. And y'all have to introduce y'all to Joni, but Joni's the one that gets to give everybody the good news.
Right.
So
right.
She's got
That's
a great job.
She's got herself into a great position. What a pleasure that must be.
We're gonna have to get Jim to learn how to do her accents so we can be sending out good news. Yeah, I agree with that, Mark. Mark said, "Yeah, Jim, you need to do accents so we can call people up and tell, hey, you've won, right?" I think that might be illegal, though, man. We might get in trouble for that. No, Fidel's dead. Sorry, guys. Who? Never. If I haven't heard of him, I'm not going to ask him. So move on. No, I've never heard of him. Iron Man. I guess that would be
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. is a terrific actor. He's obviously come a long way. He's created that whole. I think really the whole success of that particular series starts with Robert Downey Jr. Not sure, but I can't imagine anybody else doing it. And be a long time before they reboot that one, I think.
Yes, because I don't know who's going to replace him. I don't know. He's a fun actor. That's all, guys.
He's a spectacular actor.
He is. He's just. Oh, he can be serious when he
makes it look really easy.
He
makes
does.
it look really easy. It's not.
Oh no! I've actually seen him in some fairly serious movies, but no, he can act, guys. I know Iron Man's not the most stretched out of acting, but he can actually act. You'd be surprised. Some people can actually act. I know. Carly Simons. Wait, what? I don't know how I'm not even going. Let's just leave that. Wow. Y'all been smoking that shit in the room tonight, haven't you? What did I tell you about that? No, y'all can't do that until after the show.
Shall we talk about my mom?
Wait. Hold on, wait.
Sorry to interrupt. I can see
no, that's okay. I'm just trying to figure out
another time. I see you're very occupied.
I was just trying to figure out what that stupid question was.
I'm just going to read
about.
Here,
it's yes. What's that, Carl? Okay, all right. Well, I didn't understand what you were saying, so it wasn't making any sense. He wanted to know. Carl is from Wisconsin. He wanted to know. Do you need time to get into character for something? So if someone calls you up, he put this big 5-mile long sentence, but he said, like, somebody calls you up and says, "Hey, Jim, I need you like 3 days from now. Can you get over here? Can you jump in character? Do you need something for the character? How do you go about, putting yourself in that kind of character role that fast?"
Well, if it's someone that I'm already familiar with or a kind of a person I'm already familiar with, then it doesn't really take much time. In fact, part of being a professional is that you can drop into a character very, very quickly. All these wonderful voice actors that I was talking about in these projects like Battlefield Earth and the Pulp's Stories of the Golden Age for Galaxy. These are actors that can literally pick up a script that they've never seen before and in a millisecond make a creative choice and deliver a very well-rounded character. Now, if it's something where it's like, we need you to play this particular fellow who, grew up in Austria, but he spent most of his life in Sydney, Australia, and then he moved to Mumbai, if it's a particular person, like I worked on a show called Gaslit, which was a Watergate drama last year with Julia Roberts and Sean Penn. And I played a senator, an actual senator that existed named Senator Gurney. And he was from New York, but he was a senator from Florida. So he had stretched, part of the time. And I wasn't super familiar with him. So I did my research and I checked him out online. And I sort of created there wasn't a lot. He was not a very visible participant in the Watergate hearings. So I had to kind of create an amalgam of what I'd gathered together. And that took a little while. But normally, if you say to me, gosh, you've got to be Sam Elliott, well, then I just drop into it,
Or Tommy Lee Jones is a terrific actor as well. This is someone I sort of practiced being numerous times. And this point, I have a pretty good muscle memory about the whole thing.
I mean, so I can pick up an accent here and there. But that's excellent. I couldn't do that. It'd take me months to even figure that out. Probably freaking years, not months.
Well, I've been doing it all my life. I mean, it's fun for me. Nobody told me to do it, and I have a good time.
You look like you enjoy it. You really do. And then I'm gonna be honest. One of the things I like about both the companies I run, I enjoy it. That's why I do it. Somebody asked me, I don't know why you do all that craziness, because I like it. It's fun. I enjoy it, and I love meeting people like Jim. What was that, Edward? What was that? Evil Senator. Actually, I haven't seen this movie he's talking about, so I'm gonna go check it out because I always
had a TV show on. It's on Stars, but it's probably on Hulu at this point. It's called Gaslit. I think it was 8 episodes, and I'm in a couple.
I'll go check it out because I was always a little interested in more to get. I always thought it was a little strange the way it went down. Edward, you can find us at uprnradio.com or just go to SoundCloud and type in United Public Radio. We're everywhere. You just type us in on the internet or just type in my name. You'll find us everywhere. Matter of fact, Jim's archive will be up. When we get off, it'll be up within 15 minutes of the end of the show. Yes. So y'all can listen to the whole entire thing. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Oh, no. You're talking about Senator Kennedy, not Kennedy. Yeah, no, you got the wrong one. He was trying to get you to do.
I have done the Kennedys, various Kennedys for things too. I did John F. Kennedy for the couple of films, the X-Men. I think it was the 3rd X-Men film. There was an appearance by John F. Kennedy. I also was in what is that video game? The war game, the Call of Duty, Black Ops. Yes. Has Kennedy at the end, and I performed Mr. Kennedy's voice for that. And I did Bobby Kennedy, who is slightly different, for an audio book of Robert F. Kennedy Sr.'s speeches, and that was a great assignment.
That sounds like that might have been a little fun and a little kind of crazy beautiful. At the same time.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
The Kennedys were a great family. Well, James, I'm sorry, I shouldn't use "were," but in today's world, it's a "were." They may come back. I mean, they've got kids and grandkids coming up. It's just, everything takes time. It's a succession, it kind of flip-flops around. Yes. Well, what's the Kennedys? A Boston accent? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Boston accent.
It's a
particular sort of Boston accent.
That's what I was thinking, because I went to boot camp. Well, I went to boot camp with a couple of people from Boston, and it was it's a little strange anyway. But yeah, they pronounce different words than we do. That's just it's just one of them things. I had a lot of fun with them. Senior. Oh, you mean? Oh, I can't think of his name now. You said that, and it went right out of my head. It was one of the Disney characters. Not Wile E. Coyote. Yosemite Sam. That's who you're talking about. Yeah, he wanted to know if you could do Yosemite Sam.
Let's see. What did Yosemite Sam say? He was like, gosh, I can't remember any of the things he said.
But I can't.
He was a little scrappy guy. I remember he was very, very passionate, and he had a big old hat.
I haven't seen a Yosemite Sam. I haven't even seen a Bugs Bunny. I couldn't even tell you when. I shouldn't even say that out loud, but I haven't. I haven't had time to watch cartoons. I wish I did. Yeah. So that's what I want to do with my day. Watch cartoons all day. That's what I'm sure that's what Jim wants to do too. That's his thing. So, Randy's asking, you got any new projects coming up? Anything that you want to talk about? Or
sure. Thank you for asking. I'm in a new video game that is from the Star Trek world called Resurgence, Star Trek Resurgence. And I play a starship captain, Captain Solano, who's a big part of the action. And from what I hear from the fans of the Star Trek series and the earlier Star Trek games, it's a really cool game to play that people are liking a lot. It kind of returns to some of the old feeling. And an old friend of mine, an actor named Piotr Michael, got to play Spock, the older Spock, in this game. And he did a great job. So it was a pleasure for me to. We didn't actually work in the same room. He was in a booth like this at his house. Yeah. I was in a booth here, this very booth in my house. But Star Trek Resurgence, check it out.
So I wanted to ask you that earlier, and I forgot. There's so much of this now that we can do from home. In the old days that we couldn't. We would have had to go to a studio. So first off, let me ask you this. When did you make the adjustment I know you probably still do studio work, but when did you make the adjustment from being in the studio a lot of times to being in your own studio at home? And which do you like better?
Oh, well, I do like to go out to a studio and hopefully I'll work with other actors again. It's been a long time since I had any contact with other actors in the context of a recording session. But I got started, I think, around 2011. I got hired by a company, Dion Audio, to do a series of audiobooks. And I'd done some audiobooks for another company that helped me finance the old booth that I had. This is my newer booth. It's a little roomier. I've been working my way up, and
I know the feeling.
Yeah, it was a little bit smaller. So it's been a dozen years or so, and I've spent a lot of time in here. It's nice to have a place where you can go, and it's very, very quiet. I don't hear the traffic. I don't hear the helicopters or the leaf blowers or the dog.
That's a big plus, because everybody freaks out when I come in. You'll see a studio sign on the front side of the place, and then there's one on the door, both flashing red. That means get out, don't come around me, leave me alone until I go green again. It's quiet that way. Unfortunately, this is a fairly big place, and we have vaulted 14-foot ceilings in here, so it has great audio, and it's nice. I enjoy it. It gets. The only thing is, if you're playing loud music in here, which I do sometimes, it gets like a reverb that comes off the top of the ceiling for some reason. It comes over and bounces back and then comes back down. It's really weird. It crosses over the audio. I don't know how to explain it, but it's weird. Ginger, where are you from, Ginger? Ginger, like ginger ale, Ginger, or anyway, like Ginger the food, Ginger, where are you from? Where? Oh, hey, I know I've seen you in here before. I just realized it, but you use a different nick, don't you? Yes, you do. So, New South Wales, man, you're like on the bottom of the freaking planet.
Down there in Australia. I've been down there a few times myself. Yes. It's beautiful. Great people down there.
And that was her question. Could you do an Australian accent? Or
well, I'm always working on it. You know, I never get to spend enough time down there. I've only been down there for about a week at a time. But I've been down to Melbourne and Adelaide and Sydney a couple of times. First time I went was for a movie called Our Lips Are Sealed with Mary-Kate and Ashley. I played their dad. And
shit, I didn't even.
I've gone back a few times. So
it's a great place.
Love the Australian people, and I'd go back there in a heartbeat. I love it. It's a great country, great people.
Johnny, the only time I've been to Australia was to go to do an investigation on Pine Gap in Queensland. Yes. Pine Gap is the joint British-United States defense of outer space. Mm-hmm. And they said they closed, so we went to go do an investigation to find out they were still open. Yes. And that's the only time I've been there. I go with Jim tomorrow. I thought it was a great place. We were there for about a month, but I thought it was a fabulous. I love the accents. I love the people. Hell, I even like the dingoes, man. I liked it down there. What can I tell you? So we're going to move on. Raymond Burr, like in Raymond Burr. I mean, really, are we doing Raymond Burr like in Perry Mason? Raymond, what's going on?
Is there any other kind?
Oh, you want to know can he do Raymond Burr's accent? I'm sorry, I misread the comment. I apologize.
Well, the thing I remember about Raymond Burr is that he used to start, his mouth would be closed, and then he'd go, Your Honor, I wonder if it would be possible for the defendant to stand up in the box there. And then he'd go, and where were you on the night of the 15th? Is it true that he'd make an enormous amount of noise with his voice, with his mouth as he opened it? So
I guess it was his thing. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. He seemed to be one of the more bored actors with his job. But
yes, he did. No, Janet. My grandmother loved it, and before my mom passed away, I was spending some time with her, and she just we just Perry Mason out for I have no idea why. She just wanted to watch it, I guess, because of my grandmother or something. That's one of them things. Dragon, wait, what? No, how are you going to do an accent of a dragon?
Well, Sean Connery famously played a dragon.
Yes, that's true.
I forget which movie it was, but he played a dragon, and it was a very successful characterization, if I recall.
Yeah, it was.
Which movie was that? Was it
something hard or something? What the hell was it now?
Dragonheart. Dragonheart, exactly. Yeah,
I remember it now.
They were going to do a whole series of different internal organs of dragons, and that was the first one. Dragon Spleen never made it to the silver screen.
Yeah, that was a good accent. I loved it. Oh, I always liked Sean. Sean was. Why do you want to know who his favorite Bond is? Anyway, Duran down here wanted to know who your favorite Bond was. I have no idea.
Ward Bond, I think. Ward Bond.
Yes. There you go. We're just gonna leave it alone. Stop it. Y'all are insane tonight. So we got two different chat groups. Actually, we got three different chat groups. One because one's on Pal Talk, and they get in sync and they start going back and forth with just question, and then God knows what goes after that comes down on there. He did Biden. He did a good one too. Oh yeah, I was cracking up.
I don't remember if I did it or not, so I'll do it again. This is not a time when people need to be paying attention to anything.
Shit. They're coming to get us, man. They're coming. They're gonna kick the doors in. Oh man, yeah, he does a great Biden. I think it's great. From Dune, I know Patrick Stewart was in Dune, but who
was Patrick Stewart in Dune?
He was in Dune. He was he's the one. That's the thing you need to. That's a comment you need to learn to do in an accent. Is the one where he says, "I go wirely to my work like an ass into the desert." That's a great comment. Great quote. Yes, it was a hilariously funny quote.
I wasn't aware that Patrick Stewart was in Dune.
Yes,
the recent one.
Yes, no, in the first one.
Oh, yes, all right.
He was in the original. He's a classic actor, so he couldn't do none of this fancy dancy stuff. He don't like that kind of stuff. Have you? What do you mean, Shakespearean actors? So all right, stop, Kurt. Stop typing for a minute. So you want Shakespearean actor, or do you want a particular character? What are you looking for here? Any Shakespeare, anything?
Well, I think, when you talk about Shakespearean actor these days, you have to talk about Sir Ian McKellen, don't you? Because he's lived in that realm a long, long time. He's done many, many characters. And Gandalf himself seems like a Shakespearean character in a lot of ways. Of course, he's not. But he certainly could be part of that canon, I think.
I think he could, actually.
And then there's Richard Burton, the great Richard Burton, which people don't realize today probably even existed. But he had a remarkable sort of a voice that could be like a hacksaw. I think you wouldn't want to listen to an audiobook read by Richard Burton.
No, I don't think so. Pacino,
yeah. Okay, so, I used to do Al Pacino and people complained. And they said, "It sounds like you're doing Cookie Monster." Anyway, I have no comment.
Oh man, I'm gonna leave that alone altogether. Oh man, no. See, characters like that. I mean, things like Pinocchio and all. That's just a character that it can have any voice.
Yeah,
because there's hundreds of them. Yes, you have to think of stuff that is unique to someone, not to 500 million people.
Yeah. I only have a couple of minutes. I'm sorry. I have to get.
Oh no, that's fine. We'll let you get out of here.
Yeah. But listen, once again, if I can tell you, pick up this audiobook version of Writers of the Future number 39. And if not, pick up the paperback book. But I think you'll like it a lot. And you'll hear me do a lot of different voices and characters in that audiobook.
Yes.
And you'll hear my beautiful daughter, Taylor. She's also a narrator on it, and my wife, Tamara. But Taylor did a lot of some of the tougher stories. She hard to read. Some of them were very technical, and she did a great job.
Well, I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to hear the book on 39. Matter of fact, John and Emily will be on in about 25 minutes. So I'm going to be on John about sending it over and getting it over to me. But yeah, no, guys, he's got to go, man. He was only supposed to be here for an hour. We already kept him like 20 minutes over. Let the man go. What do you mean? You want you want to know what his mom is? Look her up. You dummies, look her up.
My mom is Marion Ross, who played Mrs. C on Happy Days. She's almost 95. She'll be 95 in October. She says hi and sends her love. And she was a great inspiration to me.
She
was all the time.
Well, I mean, she was great. She was great on the show too. And it was a lot of fun. Yeah. That had to be a lot of fun show to work on.
Yeah, she had a great time. She had a great time. I was pretty young. She's a treasure.
Jim, give them one more time where they can find your email and where they can find your website.
I won't give you my email, but I'll give you my website, jimmeskimen.com. Contact me there. Get on my mailing list if you want. Also on TikTok, Jim Meskimen, and on Instagram at Jimpressions. At Jimpressions. That's kind of my handle. And what else? Yeah, that's about it.
Go check him out, people. Go say hi.
YouTube. I put videos up on YouTube each and every day. I do a thing called the Celebrity Fortune Cookie, where I pull out a fortune cookie from a bowl, and I spin a wheel and get a celebrity name and read the fortune in that celebrity voice. I do that every day. I've done that for 5 or 6 years, each and every day. And I do a lot of other stuff too. So if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of things.
I tell you what, send me a link over and I will add it to one of our pages. We have all kind of pages where we add different on the new site. We're adding a lot of the different writers and illustrators, and actually we're gonna have a writers of the future page is what we're in the middle of doing right now. But we'll put you on the front page with the Writer of the Future's banner. You can be right there. It's just somewhere so people can find you easy.
Great.
And,
awesome.
I appreciate you coming hanging out with me. I enjoyed listening to you. Great. Yes, he is really good. I got to say. If you ever get anything you need put out, just let us know. Come on, hang out, talk about it. We're always looking for people out there. And again, thanks for hanging out with us.
You betcha. Okay, take care, everybody.
Thanks, man.
See you later.
Carolyn, we got a little bit of news to catch up on. Yes, we do. And no, I was leaning sideways because of stuff behind me. And no, we got oh, there it is right there. So let me send it out to y'all while we're in chat. No, hold on. I'm gonna send it. Yes. Oh no, he's got great. No, I'm gonna post this website for you. Hold on a second. I will put it in the main. Whoops. I will put it in the main banner with us, the StreamYard banner, so y'all can find it in StreamYard. Yes, hold on 1 second. I will add it to the system. They they don't do that. It's a different group. Okay. And there it is right there. So y'all can grab it out of the banner right there. And that is good to go. Yes, and I don't know what it is. No, there's been a lot of things going on. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a minute. No, Carolyn and them, you mean tonight? I don't know. We'll probably do well over 1.5 million if that's what you're asking. No, Jim was great. I enjoyed listening to him when he was on the show at the gala. He was a lot of fun. Listening to him tonight was a lot of fun. Nah, he's a busy guy. I imagine he's like the rest of us who stays pretty busy. Yeah, I would imagine so. It's part of life, people. It is definitely part of life. What do you mean polls? I'll check while we're talking. I haven't seen any recent polls, if that's what you're asking me, but I haven't been really following. What's so early in all this? I mean, we still got Trump in going to court. We've got a year and we got a year and a half before election time. I mean, it's just too much going on. Yeah, so Jimmy sent me this. David Bosie's anti-citizenship ruling cuts Biden's executive branch down to size. Well, I mean, he's been getting crazy. He's just been expanding. Too bad we didn't have Jim here. He could do the accent for him. He's been expanding a lot. Well, he just thinks he's the emperor. Look, he thinks the same thing they said about Trump. He thinks he's the emperor. That's what he thinks he is. Well, they were doing all kind of stuff like the Facebook and FBI stuff. I mean, all of that stuff was illegal. All of it. A lot of the COVID stuff was illegal. I mean, actually, it was the lawsuit was brought by, if I remember right, the Louisiana Attorney General, which is Jeff Landry, and the Missouri Attorney General. Let me think for a minute. Eric Schmidt, I believe, was his name. Yes. Because Biden was just going on and saying he can do this and do that and do this, and he couldn't. They got him. Well, they got him on free speech issues. They got him on the paying off the student loan debt. They got him on a lot of things. Well, this is my problem with paying off student loan. Well, if you're going to do that, I want you to pay mine off. Hell yeah. I mean, my college cost, I don't know, 60 grand. And that was way back in the day. Oh, yeah, I want mine paid off. Come on now. Well, that's the problem. Okay, even if he pays off 20 grand of it, I want 20 grand. Send me a check for 20 grand. You can't selectively just pick one group of people to pay off their debt. That's completely illegal in this country. Oh, he is being sued. He's being sued for hiring Jean-Louis Prix and Kamala Harris because he picked them based on race and sex. Yes, he did. He said it more than one time, so he can't even win that. Yeah, they've got the audio tapes where he said, I'm going to put a black woman as my vice president. Okay, which means he didn't even think about Hispanic, Asian, Indian, white. No, that's complete. You can't do that. It's illegal in this country. You can't hire somebody based on color or sex. And that's what he did in both cases. Yeah, he's going to lose that suit. No, it's not our problem. It's his problem. Yeah. I did see that, Marcus. I did see about the F-35s, but they're not going to the Ukraine. They're going to one of the NATO countries. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Russia's about to crap themselves. I mean, with them crappy tanks they got, they got state-of-the-art tanks that were popping the top off like they're Coke bottles. No, they certain things they can't send because of the technologies involved. We don't want Russia getting their hands on it. And nobody trusts the Ukrainians not to sell shit. Yeah, no, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, that's just they don't care. Mm-hmm. So y'all remember they found the cocaine at the White House, and they said that the family was wherever. Guess what? The family wasn't anywhere. The family was at the White House. Yes. He's abused so much power over his son, it's not even funny. No, Biden should be in jail. They talk about Trump. Biden should be in jail. It's not up to me to put Trump in jail. The as far as the secret stuff goes, I think that's just bullshit and a witch hunt. The stuff in New York should have already been dropped, but because it's in New York, it would be half of it was out of date. Half of it's federal. There's not that much that New York can actually. He did 37. Well, yeah, on what? The lawyers are going to get a big chunk of that thrown out. And if they don't, it just tells you right there that it's unfriendly. Yeah, so they'll get it. They'll just get an appeal and they'll move it to a different state. And then eventually it'll go before a federal Republican judge, and that'll be the end of that. That's how the game is played. Why do you think no Democrats? Why do you think Hillary Clinton's not in jail? Hillary Clinton should be in jail. Quite a few Democrats should be in jail. And let's not talk about January 6th until we talk about BLM under two different presidents racking up over $4 billion in damage, at least 11 deaths and 30 rapes. But we didn't put nobody in jail for that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Moving on to something else. I read an article the other day about a new fusion rocket engine that's hotter than the sun. Should produce an enormous amount of power. Might even get us to light speed. So y'all understand this ahead of time. Light speed is not what's going to be the problem here. Eventually, somebody will figure out how to go faster. And light speed, there's two things that they have to figure out first. Inertial dampener, so every time you go to light speed, you don't get smushed like a pancake. And two, sensors that can see far enough ahead that you don't fly into a sun or fly into an asteroid or something like that. So imagine traveling, 5 or 10 times the speed of light. You're going to have something that can see out 100 times as far, or you're going to be dead. Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that light speed is going to be the hardest part to traveling faster than light. By the way, no, you're wrong. We have already broke light speed. So on 2 different occasions, we've seen light go slower and faster than the speed of light around the sun, around the moon. Not around the moon, I'm sorry, around Jupiter. And just recently, we sent I forgot what kind of wave it was that was faster than the speed of light. So now it was simply energy, wasn't kind of humans or anything, but still it proved that you can break the speed of light. Yeah, so it's not what you think it is. So what a lot of scientists are envisioning is us sending long-range deep space craft to go to planets and set up a pad and then we start sending beam. It's like a giant teleport. We teleport people from here to there, 8 or 9 or 10 times the speed of light. Actually, there should be no limitations. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see if we're here when it happens. There's a lot of stuff changed since I've been alive. Well, here's a good one. Reporter thinks she's covering a breaking news, but it turns out to be a proposal. That should be cute. Yeah, I know it is. Here's another one on Fox News. Press poll reports contradicts claim Biden family wasn't at White House. It's the third one I've seen since we've been talking. Yes. Yes. I'm trying. You know what? If anybody knows how to get hold of Elon Musk, I want Elon on the show. Elon is fabulous. I love doing science. I am a big geek. SpaceX, I think, is just fabulous. SpaceX make NASA and a Chinese space program and a Russian space program and the Indian space program look like crap. It's not just them. No, think about what's going on. So SpaceX has launched in 1 year more missions than China, Russia, the United States, and India in a decade. In a freaking decade. And they're the only ones who can actually land things and reuse them. They make the government programs look like crap. Oh, yes, they do. They make the government programs look like crap. China would pay billions of dollars to learn how to land a spacecraft. China said the other day they are probably 30 years behind on learning how to do this. It's serious, and Elon's serious. And he's got Starlink, and he's got Tesla. He's not playing. He wants to change the world. He wants to seriously change the world for the better, not for the worse. And he wants to do it in a way that we can afford it. I don't know. I like him. Nobody's perfect, my friend. China is preparing for war. Well, China, if you want to go to war, the United States, you're going to regret it. One, we have 3,000 more nukes than you do. We've got 10 more carriers than you do. We got way more missiles. They'll have more. Within a year, they'll have more ships. If they don't already have like 20 more ships within a year, they will. It doesn't matter. So at the height of the Soviet Union, Russia had 4 ships for every one of ours. We weren't worried about it because our ships were way better than theirs. And the same thing with China. China's got crap ships. Come on, their aircraft carriers are garbage. We'll sink them the first day. I'm telling you, you don't want to get into a war. China ain't been in a war with anybody in 100 years, or probably longer than that, except for maybe trying to take where the Dalai Lama lived. They haven't been in any real wars at all. I mean, come on, they built a big freaking wall around themselves and walled themselves in. They haven't been at war with anybody. Why do you think Russia's getting its ass kicked? Because it ain't been anybody with war except for Afghanistan, which was 40 years ago, 50 years ago. The United States has been at war with somebody for the last 5 decades. Our troops are trained. They're not going to hesitate. Our equipment is trained. It's not going to hesitate. We're going to kill you quick and efficiently. It's just how it is. It's true. China has 1.4 billion people. How many of them people are eligible to fight? Well, 500 billion of them are over the age of 60. So they're out. It's at least 900 million. And out of that, probably 300 or 400 million are kids. So yeah, you've got about 500 million people, which we'll take out the first day when we nuke Beijing, Hong Kong. Oh yeah. We can level the playing field really fast. China does have nukes, but I think we can shoot China's nukes down. They only got 400 of them. And we've got missile systems all over the planet now. Well, Russia might back them up, but I don't know. Russia's having a hard time with the Ukraine. Do you really want to get in a war with the United States or NATO? Because once you start a war with the United States, you started a war with NATO and our allies. You're outgunned and outnumbered 10-1, even with China on your side. It's not going to help you. The U.S., NATO, European fleet is 5 times the size of China and Russia's combined. Our air forces we have planes everywhere. We have missiles everywhere. And other countries have nukes besides us. It's a dangerous game. And now China may try to go to war with Taiwan, and Biden and Trump both said that they would defend Taiwan. So what that comes down to is, we're going to put our people on Taiwanian soil and let them die for Taiwan. Well, right now, Taiwan is the big number one superconductor maker in the world, and we're never going to let China take that because that's technology we don't want them to have. So we either have to go in and defend them or go in and wipe it out, one or the other. Biden declares war and profit. I'm not even going to read that, Jimmy. Thanks for sending it, though. A lot of weird stuff going on. It is interesting that the government's interested in YAP, which is unidentified aerial phenomena. Yeah. It's these days you get a whole different realm of that kind of news. The government is just, how can I say this politely? We're more, the United States is more socialist communist with liberals today than they were before. Well, some liberals have always leaned to the socialism quite a bit. And even if you live to be communism, I mean, I call today's Liberal Party the new Communist Party. What do you mean? No, I'm not a Republican. Sorry. I'm a centrist. I'm a centralist. Yes. I believe in what's best for the country, and that's what's best for the party. That's the difference between me and the other parties. Yes. I believe in what's best for the country, and I vote my conscience. I don't vote according to party lines. I voted Democratic. I voted Independent. I voted Republican. It depends who I think can do the best job. I did vote Obama. His first term I voted for him. Second term I didn't. When they started talking about bathrooms for 2 years, I figured that's enough of Obama. Yeah, I mean, come on. The United States has way bigger problems, not just here, but around the world, to be discussing bathrooms. No, that's the media. That has more to do with the media. In a lot of ways, the media controls the government these days, at least the Liberal Party. They don't really control the Republican, but they control the Liberal Party. Well, because the Republican has a different kind of media. They like Fox and One American News. They're just different. In the way they do business, yeah, they're just different. There need to be new rules for media today. I mean, NBC, ABC, CBS don't report a lot of things because it makes the liberals look bad. That should be illegal. Now, let me explain something to y'all so people get confused here. So if you watch the 6 o'clock news, that's news. They have to report everything that's real news. If they don't, they can get in trouble and lose their license. But cable news does not. And cable news does not have to stick to its true. Cable news can be like, well, you know, they can sell it as entertainment or opinion news. So when you look on like Roku or Prime or any of those places now, when you look at the news category, it says opinion news. It doesn't say news anymore. It says opinion news because that's what it is. There's still real news. I mean, you still have your local news at 5 o'clock and your national news at 6, and they're still doing real news for as much as they can. And they do try to slant it a little bit, but they lose their license over it. So, but because they're over the airways news. Cable news is not like that. They can say whatever the hell they want. Yeah. That's just the way it works. Well, it does need to be changed a little bit. I mean, you know, we're getting, because there's too much lies and bullshit. Come on. So the FBI and Biden's people in the White House went to Facebook and Instagram and the whole bunch of them and before the election actually and told them, this is bullshit. Hunter Biden was bullshit. All this is bullshit, not to put it out there. That changed the results of the election. Yeah. So Biden technically shouldn't be president now because the Republicans broke all kind of records in this. Yeah, I know, but we're not getting into that because nobody knows that for sure. No, they lost. And even if Trump was right and they cheated, that's on Trump. If he was going around telling everybody they were cheating, then he should have been ready for them cheating. He should have had people at all the polling stations. He should have been making sure it didn't happen, but he didn't. That's on him. I did see the story about the big breakthrough about getting solar energy from space, but that's okay. So a while back, this is a few years back, we reported that they could put up solar panels about, they'd probably be a mile, 2 miles across, and they would be way more than enough to supply like New York and the entire Northeast grid. Yes, endless clean energy. And this is what's great about this. It beams it down in a microwave form, and it can beam it dark, and they're going to beam it to a plant so they can send it out and meter you for it. But they don't have to, by the way. They could actually put an antenna on your house and beam it straight to your house for free. But they can't meter that, so they're not going to do that. They're going to beam it to a power plant, and then they're going to charge you accordingly. But since you're only going to have the initial cost of putting the mirrors up, and it's not going to be that expensive to build a 2-mile cross mirror, a couple of $1 billion, and then what's going to cost is putting it up and assembling it in space. But even if it's $50 billion, that doesn't matter. I mean, you think about the New York, the Northeastern power grid, Baltimore, Buffalo, New York City, New Jersey, Pittsburgh. I mean, it would pay for itself in less than a year, or even 2. And then they could put a fund away for the next 2 years. But after that, it should be almost nothing for electricity. That was Tesla's dream, by the way. Yeah. Free or very cheap electricity. And that's the way it should be. And if we do cold fusion, so what cold fusion is going to do for us is what's going to happen is what they want to do is build a reactor and power the city. But what's really going to happen over the next 100 years is they're going to build mini reactors that fit in your car and fit in your house. So you're just going to buy it, and you're not going to have to pay a bill anymore. And wait, the thing about it is these things can last 100, 200, 300 years. So you can buy every time you move, you can just take it with you. Every time you get a new car, it can be your power source. So that cuts down the price of your car immensely. If every time you get a new car, you don't have to pay for a new power source. It's like your engine. Yeah, I know it's the world's changing. It's going to be 100 years before we see the really good stuff. Maybe 50, but oh no, I'm too old. No, a lot of this stuff I won't get to see. But I know it's coming because I've seen a lot of the. Wait, what? What is this? Ample evidence that NASA's rockets have reached outer space. What is this, and why'd y'all send me this? USA Today. Okay, what is it? The claim is NASA rockets cannot reach outer space. I guess the new ones. Wow, NASA, that would be sad. People, we have continental ballistic missiles. They go into space. I'm just saying. Sometimes some of this shit is just stupid. I'm just saying. Some of this is just stupid. I did see that. Whether or not it's real or not, you mean the View showing reruns. I did see that because a lot of people think the show is done. Well, I don't know why anybody would watch Joy or Whoopi. In the old days, I could see why you would watch Whoopi. I could never understand why you'd watch Joy. The bitch has been fired twice. She is rude, arrogant, lying bitch who doesn't care about anybody but herself. Oh, yeah, that's who she is. That's what she is. She's not 50. She's like 74 or something. Who the hell told you that? Look her up for yourself. It's not me. Got nothing to do with me. Y'all are retards. No, y'all are retards. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see somebody else was in the other chat. No, I was doing something else. Well, there's a lot of good stories out there, but there's so much crap going on in the world. No. Let's see. Yes, I seen that. That was the U.S. military set to destroy last massive chemical weapon stockpile. Do y'all really believe that? We're going to destroy all of it? Do y'all really believe that? I don't know. This shit was supposed to be destroyed 50 years ago, so I'm still kind of wondering why we're talking about it now. We have a lot of new technologies coming out. Yes. A lot of really fast jets and stuff like that. AI bot at world's first human robot press conference says she's happy for now. Oh, Jesus. AI scares the crap out of me. Y'all need to go watch some of them AI movies. Oh, yes. Well, okay. That Google AI, when they asked it, how can you better the world? The first thing it said was to kill all the humans off the planet. No, I'm serious. That's what it said. And then 3 times now, drones have decided to go kill their handlers so they could do their mission more efficiently. Yes. I'm not lying to you. I know these were, no, they weren't live action. They were demonstrations, and all 3 times the drone wanted to came back and killed its handler. AI is not, AI don't think the way we do. People, it's a computer. I mean, Jesus. And y'all are, oh, we need AI. Mm-hmm. And then we've got this other thing going on, and I've talked with several writers and illustrators about this. We've got AIs that can write books now, and we got AIs that can illustrate. I know. And it can do it damn good. So I'm thinking, how is this going to work out for all these illustrators and all these writers in the future? Yes. Anyway, we're moving on from all of that. I have seen a lot about Kamala Harris, who we all love. I did see John Kennedy, who's a Louisiana senator, the other day, just roast the living hell out of her. He told her, he said, your word salad, he said, he told her first language isn't English. It's not her first, second, or third language. All she does is do word salad. She just puts a bunch of words, and I've heard her do this. She just strings words together that mean absolutely nothing. I don't know what's happened to our great country, but this is bullshit. So this is what bothers me about my liberal friends. You're so desperate for power that you put Joe Biden in the White House. You put the moron in charge of the nuclear weapons. And then you want to be hypocritical and bitch about Trump doing this, and that. But, oh, no, it's okay that Joe. So let me get this right. Trump had his secret stuff under lock and key, in a vault, no less. FBI's already said this, so you can't deny it. Joe Biden had him sitting around his office, sitting around his house, and sitting next to his car. Well, there's actually pictures of him entertaining guests and his son in that garage while that thing is sitting next to the car, which means any of them could have looked at it or taken pictures or sold it to a Russian, Chinese, or Ukrainian government, which is probably what Hunter Biden did. It's probably why it was left there. But for some reason, we don't even want to discuss that possibility. Oh, no, that could have never. Well, that's exactly what happened. And since, Joe Biden keeps saying he had nothing to do with his son's business or knows nothing about it, he should be polygraphed or voice stressed at the very least. So I'll tell you what I did. And if you do voice stress analysis, you can do this, by the way. And yes, and I do voice stress analysis. So you can listen to someone's baseline, listen to them and find out when they're talking about truth, when they were born, where they live, things they're telling the truth on. And you use that for a baseline. And then when you go back and hear reporters or other people asking questions and they're answering them, you can see if they're answering them truthfully. I've done it with Biden 5 times. Every time it says lying through his teeth. Jean Pierre's not even worth doing it to because it just instantly says she's lying. It's like she just has a book of lies and that's what she used. Mm-hmm. Let me think about it. You know what? Let me see if I can find it right quick. I did see it. The one where the Russians were harassing the drones. I did. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me type it in right quick. Yeah, hold on. And here you go. After Russians harass U.S. drones over Syria for the second day, Air Force responds. Yeah, the Air Force had enough of it. We sent jets. Yeah, we said, you're going to screw with our drones. We're going to see F-22s. Russia has nothing that can mess with the F-22, just nothing at all. Neither does China for that matter. to me, the F-22 is a better plane than the F-35. I'm not going to lie. Even though they call it the Widowmaker, it's a better plane. No one can understand why they want to get rid of them because it's even more stealthier than the F-35. It can carry more weapons. It can fly further. It's more maneuverable. I don't know. The only thing it can't do is vertical landing and takeoff. Or at least I don't think it can. But some of the F-35s can. No, I could never be president. The first time Russia flew into my airspace or harassed my planes, I'd shoot their ass out the sky. And so you really want to start a war? Come on, big boy. You can't beat Ukraine. We'll wipe you off the face of the freaking planet. Well, that's the real thing. Do you think Putin's going to use nukes? I don't worry about Putin uses nukes because I don't think his generals will allow for it because his generals and his admirals know they can't beat the Ukraine. Why would you get into a fight with the United States and NATO? You're going to get your ass kicked. Even with China helping, you're still going to get your ass kicked. And Putin may be a lot of things, but I don't think he's that ignorant. I heard that a while back that he had Parkinson's and stage 3 cancer, actually, and that he had gone to have work done in, I was going to say Colombia, but in Cuba. They have a great cancer thing. I don't know. Nobody said it was in remission. I don't know. I really. No, I really don't know. No, I mean, think about what you just said. So the Ukraine's over there popping tops off these expensive high-end Russian tanks like they're Coke bottles. We're not even giving them good weapons. They're not using our state-of-the-art weapons in any means. They're using shit that we were using 20 years ago, and it's still kicking the Russians' ass. If we started sending over state-of-the-art stuff over, missile launches, Russia wouldn't have a chance. They would already ran them out of there. And think about this. We're slowly but surely building up a stockpile of weapons inside the Ukraine, not just us, a bunch of other countries. So if Russia pushes the issue, we've already got a mini army built in the Ukraine and in Poland to invade from 2 different areas. Russia don't want to go there. They can't win this. It's not something they can win not without nuking the planet. And I don't know if we could shoot all that. I'll tell you what Elon Musk said about Russia's nukes. So Elon's got, I forgot how many thousands of freaking satellites in space now. He told this to Putin, by the way. You can go look it up. He told Putin, if you try to launch a nuke against the United States, I will use one of my satellites to knock it out of orbit or knock it out of space. So he'll knock it so it goes deeper into space. These things are plenty big enough and plenty heavy enough and easy to drive, because they move them all the time, to knock one of Putin's missiles out of the way. And he told Putin, he said, think about how many we got up to. He said, and for every one missile you can build and launch, I can put 1,000 of these in space. He meant it. So really, truly, Russia's nuclear force isn't the force it used to be. And that goes for China, too. He can knock China's down. China only has 400. Nobody thought about that. And then, you mean the submarines? Submarines still have to go into space. They're still intercontinental ballistic missiles. So the 99% of Russia and China's missiles can be knocked down, not by the U.S. government, but by Elon Musk. Oh, we do have to worry about things like cruise missiles with nuclear weapons on. But remember, the Western and Eastern coast have missile launches on. People don't realize it. But if you drive around D.C. and Baltimore and places like that, you will actually see missile launches on the top of buildings or in forts or places like that. No active missile launches with missiles on board. Yeah. Well, they want to protect D.C. I don't know, Jackie. I don't. I really don't know about any of that. No, we'll go back. No, we'll go back in a minute. No, first I got to find something. But some of the stuff we deal with today in our country is just, you just got to stop and go, come on, really? I mean, really, you just kind of got to be that way now. I don't know, but I get tired of it, and I get tired of the endless bullshit politics we have and why no one can tell the truth. Do what? Trash bag jettisoned from space by space? Man, you can't be polluting space, you SOBs. What the? Oh, man. It's going to give me something else to bitch about now. I'm telling you, it's going to give me something else to bitch about. No, we're almost done because I'm getting ready to invite the Goodwins on in a few minutes. Yes, Todd, you missed him. He just left a little while ago. Yeah. Yes. Copy. I really don't know, Jackie. I really don't. Honestly, I'd be lying to you if I told you yes. That's Jackie Rim. Yeah. No, it really is. Hold on. Well, no, because nobody cares about those stories. Justice Department admits it could delay Hunter Biden's plea deal. You see, they're catching so much static because it's a bullshit deal. You and I would not get that deal. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. It's ridiculous. So wait, here's how U.S. Navy could destroy China's aircraft carriers in a war and how fast they could do it. U.S. Navy estimates that they could sink both of China's aircraft carriers in the first 20 hours of war. And within the first 30 days, they could sink more than half of their fleet without losing hardly any of our ships. Because most of our ships now can kill them before they can see us. Yeah, we've been doing long range weaponry. Like our jets can now kill Russian and Chinese fighter jets before they can see us or find us. So we can detect them earlier and launch our missiles before they can see us. That's serious technology, my friends. Our Navy does not consider the Chinese thing, the Chinese aircraft carriers, the thing. And hypersonic missiles we proved are bullshit. No, they work. But you ever seen a Phalanx incoming missile system or a Phalanx machine gun system? Yeah, they found out they can shoot down a hypersonic missile. Yeah. Well, hypersonic just means it's traveling around Mach 5, Mach 6. And these things can track it out a couple of miles out. So, yes, they can still shoot it down. I know. So hypersonic's good for close range, where it can get to target really fast. But if it has to come out like every other missile does, it's going to get shot down. I know. Isn't that a bitch? But we have hypersonic jets coming out, and we have hypersonic drones coming out. Yeah, that's a whole different thing there. Well, they were using the Zimwalt. Oh, wait, I forgot about this one. So there's the Zimwalt class destroyers. There's only 3 of them. I think they might go ahead and build some more though, because they. So it started shooting down hypersonic missiles with lasers. And wait, it can also destroy their carrier with a laser. Holy crap! This article is saying they could actually cut it in half if they wanted to. I didn't know our lasers. I knew we were, for the missile defense, I knew we were building serious lasers. This is pretty crazy. I don't know. I saw that article too, where actually a friend of mine sent me that. So it's not happening in our lifetimes, but it may in the future. So what they want to do is liquefy your body and use that, turn it into water basically, and put it back into the water. Take your bones and your minerals and crush them in, and use them for different things. There's actually different things the chemicals from your bones can do. I know. And you know what? Oh, it can actually be used to bind food and stuff like that as well. Yeah. I don't know. Nah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. I've seen lots of stuff from the James Webb Telescope. They got a lot of fabulous stuff. I've also seen Virgin Galactic fly on the edge of space. Yes, tourism in space, my friends. And Japan's already talking about building a hotel. Well, they've been talking about building a hotel for a long time. The UN and the United States said no. Yeah. Well, a lot of times if you're famous, you got a lot of money. A lot of times you can get away with stuff that other people can't get away with. Yeah, well, no, that's just how it works. Oh, somebody just sent me this. Wendy Rogers revenge porn and a HUD Biden video that could bring down the Arizona state senator. First I've seen about Hunter Biden got so much crap against him. I just don't know how much more he can get. Well, his daddy's president, and his dad needs to be president for another 4 years, because if not, Hunter's probably going to be in trouble. Yeah, that's just one of those things. That's Hunter Biden for y'all. He's your new president, I guess. No, really, no, just teasing. He's not just new president. He's an idiot. He's a doofball. No, that Carly, that was Jim Meskimen who was on with us earlier. You can go his matter of fact, there is his YouTube link right there, scrolling along the bottom of the page. Yes. Well, we only supposed to have him for an hour. He stayed an hour and a half with us. Yes. Well, we were getting a lot of comments, but they were coming in kind of slow and disjointed. It makes it hard to read when they're disjointed. Yeah, they do. They do. It's one of those things. It's part of doing radio, though. No, I had fun, and I didn't know he had done the stuff in Mission Earth and Battlefield Earth, so we had a lot of fun talking about that. Yes, we did. Well, one more story, and then I'm going to bring John on. I see him down at the bottom, but where was it? He just sent it to me. Where the hell did it go? I just seen it a second ago. So, real quick on this article. U.S. got a new technology. You know, we're the ones that invented linking drones together. And by the way, the U.S. military didn't invent linking drones together. An entrepreneur did, who wanted to do stuff in the sky with them, which today you can see we make dragons flying around. They're actually better than fireworks now. Well, they found out a new way, because they use EMP a lot of times to take down drones. But they found a new way to shred them by the thousands. So, well, because, you know, China has the ability to mass produce, and we don't want to mass produce and have 1 million drones and sending them after us. So we needed a way to make sure we can shoot them down. I noticed something about our military. It never builds anything that it can't figure out how to kill in case our enemies get it. And we're getting ready to go. Doctor Who comes out in, I believe it's November. Yes, with David Tennant coming back as a doctor for 3 episodes. And then supposedly we get the new doctor. Yes. And global climate change, it depends where you live. Well, they were talking the other day about all these records, and then the news guy had to correct them from no. He says, no, this was not the hottest day. The hottest day that we've recorded was in 1979. Yes. And then there was another hot day almost equal in the 1800s. And there was 1 year in the 1800s and somewhere in the early 70s that's been hotter than any year since. But yet, we're dying from global warming. I don't know. Again, and I'll tell you this before we go and I bring them on. I say this all the time. I've been asked to leave NOAA meetings because of this. I got into the head of NOAA 3 different times about this, and he knows who I am now. He knows me by face and by name. So last time I was there, they're going on and talking about all this stuff. And I said, well, look, I said, I'm confused. I said, I watched your report for the last 10-day weathers. I said, it wasn't even close to right. The whole entire thing was wrong. I said, so you want me to believe that you can't predict the weather for 10 days, and you can't even predict it for 3 days, but you want me to believe that you're going to tell me what's going to happen 100 years from now. Okay, that's absolute and total bullshit. If you can't tell me what's going to happen in 10 days, you can definitely not tell me what's going to happen in 100 years. You're guessing is what you're doing. You're running algorithms that half the time are not right. And we know from hurricane predictions and other weather predictions that algorithms are bullshit. They never predict 100% of anything. They've never got an actual landfall right a week out on a hurricane, not even once. Matter of fact, the only person that has was this guy was Noah Nash. He used to predict whether he'd tell you 2 weeks out where the damn thing was going to go. But there's been no technology since then that can even predict you. They can't even tell you. I'm sitting there at Katrina having drinks in the casino that got wiped out by Katrina, by the way, and they were still thinking it was going to Alabama when it went to Mississippi and Louisiana. And that's 1 day out. But you're going to tell me again that you're going to tell me what our weather's going to do 100 years from now. I just don't buy this stuff. But anyway, on that note, guys, I got to stop at that. We got to get into something more positive. I have John and Emily Goodwin with us, or Emily and John Goodwin, because she's really the boss people. We're just going to say it outright. And I'm going to bring them on with us right now. And y'all hang on for just a second. Dun, 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 dun. What's up, guys?
Hi.
What's that smile about? That's a strange smile we got going on there. Jim was a blast. Jim was
laughing about your introduction.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a little strange.
And you're able to see through all the mists and my shrouds and stuff to see the truth. Emily's
That's
really
right. It really is the boss. We know who the boss is. And
no, we just finished a great event with Tim Powers. He did he's obviously our judge. You've met him several times now coming out. So he just did a live Q&A for 2 hours.
I wanted to actually attend. Joni had wrote to me about it a couple of days ago, but when I realized what time it was, I said, well, that's not going to happen. And then when Carmen told me, because I was actually thinking about letting one of the guys host for me tonight, but then Carmen told me he had Jim, and I wanted to mess with Jim. Poor Jim. I said, can you get a word in edgewise? He said, I can't get a word in edgewise. Picking on him. But we had a good interview, and it was a lot of fun.
Amazing. He's such a good interviewer.
Did he do a bunch of voices for you?
Yes, we the audience was asking for different voices, and then he said, well, I'm gonna start reading if you're not gonna ask me a question. You don't want to talk about my mom, because they had this long question. I said, wait, let me figure out what this guy's trying to ask you before we move on. But he's really good about book 39.
Yeah, well, he narrated it.
I know, but we talked about that, and see, I didn't know he was the guy in Battlefield Earth and Mission Earth. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So when he told me that, I said, well, dude, you're going to be my best friend now, because I've been enjoying both of them. I enjoyed Battlefield Earth because I've listened to it twice now. And I told him, I said, I got to be honest with you. I actually like the 40-hour audio thing better than I like the movie. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I said, I don't know. It's just better for me, I guess. Well, it's more detailed. There's more stuff in it. It's all the way around.
The story itself, word for word.
And then I didn't know he was, what's his name on Mission Earth? I don't want to say the guy's name.
Sultan Grease, yeah.
Sultan Grease.
Your favorite criminal.
We talked about that a little bit. I said, we can't talk about it too much because John killed us if we talk about it too much. But I said, we'll talk a little bit about it. And so we talked a little bit about it. We actually crossed several topics. And then right at the end, I asked him to tell everybody who his mom was. Some of the people knew, some of the people didn't. So we talked about that a little bit. And then I made him post his information. Said, all right, get out of here. Go home. Go do something with yourself. I said, I got to squeeze some news in. But he was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed his company.
Yeah.
And
great guy.
So what y'all been doing? Y'all been 10 Powers hanging out. They got to go hang out with 10 Powers, y'all, and just.
Yeah. So we have obviously the Writers of the Future free online writing workshop at writersofthefuture.com. But Tim Powers, he was one of the instructors for the workshop. He's he's an awesome sci-fi fantasy writer, mostly sci-fi, but he's one of like the granddaddies of steampunk, and he also wrote all the On Stranger Tides, which became the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So he's a lot of fun. He's high adrenaline. He had his 4 Coca-Colas lined up while he was talking, and he's always on edge.
And he had 2 of his 15 cats prancing around in there.
Hey, I can go for that. My dog's coming every once in a while, so I can't say that. Yeah. Guys and girls, yeah. So if you ever do a likeness of 10 Powers, he has to have a Coca-Cola can in his hand,
my sparkling water,
or real close to him, one or the other. Yeah, somebody asked me tonight. They said, "Joe, you drinking coffee?" I said, "I always drink coffee on News on the Flipside." I said, and he said, "What's in the other glass?" I said, "Tea." They're like, "Wait, you're drinking coffee?" I had tea. I said, "I drink cold iced tea and hot coffee." I said, "It's an old trick. When you do a lot of radio, you should always have one hot and one cold while you're talking. It evens out the larynx, is what it does." What's that? Y'all know John and Emily. Come on. No, Emily does not do voices. Well, wait a minute now. You thought she was who? I ain't even telling her that. She might hurt you. She thought you did Bart Simpson's voice.
Oh, that's Nancy Cartwright. But she does attend the Writers of the Future. She was a presenter this year and last year at the award show. So, I won't even attempt to do Bart Simpson because it kicked me off the show.
I almost asked Jim to do it, and I said, "No, I don't want to get him in no trouble." We better not. But we did a lot of classic voices and a lot of other voices, and then we got into like the Mission Earth and stuff like that, and we talked about that for a while. And then we moved around for something else. But he is funny as hell because, like, when I was reading that guy's question, he's all, "Well, I'm just going to have a little read here for a little while you're doing that." It starts reading through the book. Literally, though, this book, he must have put it up 6 or 7 or 8 times while we were talking. And
it's a good book.
It is a good book. And then I told him, I said, "John is doing me wrong." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I still ain't seen no audio, nothing on 39. He's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, he's just doing me wrong, man." I said, "I had to read the damn thing." He started laughing at me. I was like, "No." I said,
"The audio book, right?"
Yeah, you got it.
And I was just giving him hell. And what's Denise Wobbly WULLDLE. I don't even know how to pronounce that. That's like wobbly. Well, you come on a mic and you can tell us how to pronounce it. Anyway, what do you got? GalaxyPress.com. WritersOfTheFuture.com. That's what you're looking for, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to put something in, WritersOfTheFuture.com. They're on, what are you on, quarter 3?
Quarter 4 now.
Quarter 4. Oh, it is quarter 4. I forgot what time of the year it is, yeah.
Your last quarter, your last chance to get into volume 40. Vol 40 is going to be a special one. So
that's a celebration book there. You better get in there.
Yes, it is. It's going to be a big deal, big 40th anniversary event. So you want to enter your story or illustration. So go to writersofthefuture.com, and this is your last quarter to enter for the year.
So my newly married son fessed up that he's
wow.
Yes, he got married Wednesday. And so he fessed up that he's working on a novel and that he doesn't have an ending for. I said, "Well, just send the damn thing." It says not over 17,000 words. Send it to Writers of the Future. And he's like, "Well, Dad," I said, "well, you're not going to win, obviously." I said, "But you might get some really good feedback." I said, "Unless it really sucks, and then you're not going to get anything."
He's not going to win.
Well, without an ending, you can't win, but
True.
And but I say, "Hey, you might get some good feedback or something along the line." And I said, "You just need to submit." I said, "You like to write, just submit." So I've been on his ass about it lately. I said, "Dad's writing. If I can write, you can write." And I just got up to 27.7 now. I'm telling you, I'm channeling Elron. Y'all just don't believe me. When I'm done with this, it's going to be like 175,000 words.
Whoa.
And it's going to be scary as hell, too. That's the bad part. I was reading over like the second part of this shit scares me, and I was like, wait a minute, man. And I don't get scared easy. There's a lot of, the problem is there's just a lot of detail in there that has to be put in. I have to do the original 11 days, and then I have to do what actually happened during the original 11 days. So there's 2 sets of days. It even gets confusing when I'm reading through it. So I'm like, and I'm not really good about back reading. I hate to do that.
Do you remember what happened in those 11 days?
I do.
Okay.
I was put under to find out.
Oh.
And somebody, matter of fact, the person who taught me the person I got my teacher's license from for hypnosis is who put me under. And Linda, we were sitting down one night on a couch. This is umpteen million years ago. You were just like knee high to a cricket back then. And
this is Linda, your wife, or another Linda?
No, this is my wife, Linda, because we've been married 41 years now. Okay. So we're sitting on the couch one night just talking, and we'd been studying stuff. And for some reason, we were watching something, and my voice slipped into this monotone voice while we were talking about this event. and it put her under. And she started just remembering stuff. I said, well, wait, we're not writing it down. We're not recording anything. You know, it just came out. And when it did, this was 2.5 years after the event this happened. And then I was like, well, shit. So we tried to jot down as much as we can. We wrote down as much as we can. And then I couldn't get her under. So I sent her to school to get her hypnosis license. She went down to Orlando, Florida to get her license. While she was doing that, the guy who was teaching me came by. I said, well, why don't we work on this a little bit? And I said, man, I don't like giving up control. It's going to be hard for me to let go, to be hypnotized, because I'm a control freak by nature. And so thank God my wife is too. But anyway, long story short, the first time he put me under was for 6 hours. We reclaimed 2 days, and we went through about 5-week sessions, 4 to 6 hours a session. And there's a lot of material came out, a lot more. And see, in reality, I had no idea any of this was there, not even a clue. Right. And we were running voice stress doing the whole thing, so you can see me and the voice stress meters to let you know I wasn't lying. We do the voice stress meters because we want people, who understand voice stress. They can do the test themselves. They can see us because we do a baseline in the beginning of the interview on, what's your address, what's your name, where do you live, what's your age, a baseline, people telling the truth, all those questions are true. So after that's done, you have the original baseline because the voice meter was running at that point. When we get into the hypnosis and we put them under, the voice meter is still running. So we don't control the emotions in the first sets. We wait to do those later because we need the emotion of whatever happened so the meters will pick it up. So we know that we know the whatever it was actually real, because you can get somebody under and they'll start talking and it's like the lines it looks like a flat line just going across. They're lying right off the bat. Half the time they're not even under and they're just lying. It's just because there's no way any of these things could happen to you that it wouldn't be very emotional. There wouldn't be emotions involved.
Right.
It don't matter what it is, people. You could be falling in the water.
You wrote that all up in your book so far?
A lot of that's in there, yeah. A lot of the things, a lot of the ways we do hypnosis and stuff like that's in there as well.
You should finish your book.
Yeah, like 2 years from now.
2 years? Come on.
Yes, actually, no, because I use y'all to finish it. It's I can't help it. Them guys are inspirational when I'm there. When I'm home, when I'm home, my life is like
your file card's whipped out when you come out next year. You can just like zappo wappo.
And you never know. I might get enmeshes along the way, but for some reason, it's just easier. I guess because I'm talking to all them writers while I'm there, and it's just easier. And if I get stuck on something, it's different. You can walk downstairs and say, "Hey, what about this?" Yeah. Yeah. Here, it's a whole thing. But I'm having fun doing it. We'll see where it ends up. I mean. Sure. Day 4 or day 5 is going to be a little interesting to write. The first and last day are the hardest because of the way things happened. And you have to come back to explain exactly what happened. Like, when we went to go pay for the extra days at the hotel, and the lady says, where the hell you been for the last 11 days? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've been in my hotel room. What do you mean 11 days? What are you talking about? And she was there, and they had all the videotape. No one entered or left the room for 11 days. We went out the first night and went out on the beach. And so last time you seen us for 11 days. The maids came in every day. The room wasn't messed up. She said everything was still the same. It was the way it was left. She said nobody seen you come. Nobody seen you left. She said actually they had talked about calling the police because they thought somebody had gotten us. But the room was paid up. So they figured maybe somehow we got out without them seeing us. And so they
didn't get any extra quarters in the magic fingers in your bed.
It was weird. No, unfortunately, I don't stay at hotels like those. I like nice hotels. I'm spoiled, man. I like to be spoiled. The only figures that are going to be magical is going to be ones that Anyway,
moving right along.
I can't help myself. I like nice hotels.
Sure.
And even when I was young, I did. It's one of those things. Well, nice hotels are nice. I like my own room in my own hotel room. It's not that expensive. It's not. So when I went to see them at Dragon Con, it was $160 a night. It was a really nice. It was at the Hilton. It was. I had my own bedroom, my own living room, double bathtub with a shower. It was nice. It was comfortable, and that way you can entertain and do interviews, and nobody has to see all the junk in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Even though I had the maid clean it anyway, so it really didn't matter. But actually, if you're a frequent flyer at the Hilton, you can get those rooms cheaper. Yes, about $115 or $120.
Huh?
Yeah, there you go. That's cheap for a hotel room.
Especially during a convention. That's
yes, it is, because you're lucky it's not $300 a night.
Right now, if you go for San Diego Comic-Con, they can be up $600, $700, $800.
Because they know they can get it. Yeah, people want it, they can get it.
Yeah.
Oh, eventually Dragon Con will get that way. I was actually a mile from Dragon Con. I think that's why the room was cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, because we
get the convention rates because we're so actively involved with it. So, so we're right there at one of the hotels for the convention.
Yeah, because what are there, 5 of them y'all use?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is 5.
That reminds me about your podcast award you're going to win this year.
I'm gonna win both of them. I ain't winning one of them. Bugging with that bullshit.
Tell us about it.
No, I'm telling somebody. I was talking about it with poor Jim when we opened up. I said, and Jim was laughing. He said, "I don't want to hear him whine for a year either, man. Y'all come on." I was like, I said, this is bullshit, people. I want my damn award. But everybody likes the promos. They run okay, and then one of y'all's commercials will run tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes. And it would have ran tonight, but I was too lazy to transfer from that computer to this one. And y'all see what I'm talking about tomorrow, guys and girls. But y'all can go over to uprnradio.com. And if you'd like to get a book from Galaxy Press, the links are right there on the front page and the home page and on the archive page, and soon to be on the program page. And you can just click the pretty little link that Maliva sent me, and guess where it's going to take you? Right to there.
So is that what this YouTube link is?
No, that is for Jim's website, Jim's YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were talking, so I told him I'd post it up during the show, and he can stay up there. Yes. Yes, Jim, yes. He was a nice guy. We talked.
He's a great guy.
He's probably not used to somebody like me. I probably drove him crazy, but he was good. And he was smart. He brought in some of his own people with him because, now you can link when you come into the show now. You can bring your own YouTube pages and Facebook pages and connect them to the show. And so, if you have
up and show you some videos.
Wait, no, what I mean is it's how we link our Facebook and YouTube pages for y'all people to hear him. He can do the same thing. Now, the guests can now connect to the program and broadcast live with everybody else. It just broadcasts live on their pages like it does on our pages. I know it's a nice feature now that StreamYard added.
Yeah, on the Zoom event I just did with the Tim Powers, I put that on my Facebook page. So
see, and that's what I'm saying. You can do all of that, and no, Carl, I don't use Zoom anymore. I don't like their non-security bullshit. Yeah, it bothers me. Being that I work on computers, I need security. Look, I got into it with StreamYard because I went through their header base, and I'm like, well, you got to fix this, or we're going somewhere else. And the guy's like, what do you mean? I said, let me show you. I said, I just hacked your system. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, watch again. You want me to do it again? He's like, oh, shit. I'm like, yeah, oh, shit, fix that. Because people don't realize we all just do the same thing. We see new programs come out like TikTok and stuff like that, and everybody jumps on a new program and never really stops to think what security may or may not be behind the program. So that's the first thing I check now because I got all these damn computers. TikTok's allowed on my phone, but none of my computers ever. Even though John was on there the other day, we played. What the hell was it? Not Dan. Who was your guest before Dan? The week before.
I had on the podcast.
Yeah.
Was it the Lydia Van Bo?
I think.
Bob Bly.
Okay, because whoever it was, they went out on TikTok. So we've been trying something new with TikTok, and so through our Rumble feeds, we can actually log TikTok into the feed. And use the feed. So it sends it over there and lets it play. I just wanted to see how it played. I mean, it picked up about 500 people in about 15 minutes. So that's nice. So what's nice about TikTok is you get the live interaction of 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 people right off the bat. And they're more an active audience than other audiences are, I guess I should say. They're, how can I say this politely? Crazy. That's how we're going to say it. They're crazy. But they're a lot of fun. I mean, they're a lot of fun. So we're just looking for places to expand. That's all. I took us off of Truth Social until Trump gets out of jail. Or, sorry. No, people don't write to me. I didn't mean it like that. I apologize. Damn. I'm going to get all kind of email over that sentence. Damn.
Oh, yes.
It's no, it's not what I meant. I didn't mean he was going to jail. That's not what I meant, people. I just don't think it's appropriate for us to be on a website like that until however this is settled out. Yes. No, the station don't need to be on there. I'm sorry, guys. No. When it's settled, we'll go back on if you don't go to jail. If he goes to jail, we're not going on. No, we're not on anything. Oh, Jim did Joe Biden. That shit was hilarious. Oh man, that was too much. I was like, dude, you're gonna. I said, stop it. They're gonna come get us, man. They're coming for us. I said, you don't know my other thing I do. They might come for us over this. And but it was. He did it twice. Actually, it was hilarious though. Yeah, Karry, you seen it? It was just funny as hell.
He does. Did he do his George Bush as well?
No, he didn't do George Bush, but he like I said, we did a lot of classics, and he did
Nero.
He did a couple of the Kennedys. He did
Freeman.
No, but he did. Oh,
what about Obama? Did he do Obama?
No, he didn't do Obama. He only did like a couple people asked him about politics, but he only did one. And then we got into a whole different set of he did Elvis, and we got into like a 50, 60, 70 set for some reason. He was going to do Sinatra, but for some reason we got sidetracked. And but he did a couple of them. I mean, he did probably 10 or 15 of them, and all of them were good. They were all fun.
Yeah.
And, but then we had stupid questions coming in like, "Can you do Santa Claus? Who's going to do Santa Claus? Or can you do Superman? Really? How many Supermans have there been? Like 15?" I said, "I'm like, people, really think about what you're asking." And and he did try to do a couple of Santas. He pulled a couple, and then one guy said, I forgot the name of the Santa he said he liked, but he said it, and then Jim knew who it was, so Jim was doing that Santa, kind of a grovelly, grouchy old kind of Santa. But people, when you ask questions like that, you're like, really? And how do you expect him? Because and that's what the first question I said. Well, what Superman would you like him to do? I mean, are we talking about the first Superman? Way back in the day? Are we talking about the last Superman? I said, Superman's not known for his voice; it's known for his face. Let's just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Now, Batman, he did a couple of Batmans, but Batman just Batman, and you move on.
Wow.
Well, you're an impressionist there, Joe.
Oh well, I told him that. Unfortunately for me, it gets me in trouble a lot. I'm nowhere near as good as he is by any means, but if I hear a voice too many times, I automatically have to repeat it in their language. That's why I stay away from talking to Indians on the phone. Because within 15 minutes, I'll be speaking Pakistani or Indian, which is rude, by the way. But I got a pretty good accent for that, so I like stay away from it, Joe. Be nice, stay away. But after a while, I just get irritated with it. And I was telling him, I always tell him the same thing. I said, before you fight with me, go to your computer and go Joe Montaldo and see what comes up before you get your ass fired. He started laughing. I said, no, I'm serious, man. I don't even play with these people anymore. And then we talked about Irish and Scottish accents because they're so hard to understand. Irish is much easier than Scottish. I said, well, the best way I know to do a Scottish accent is just take 2 rocks and throw them in your mouth and start talking. And I said, you've got the Scottish accent down pat. And we talked a little bit about the awards, and we talked about a few other things. No, John doesn't do accents. John, you do accents? I didn't know. Stand-up comic? I've never seen him do that. I'll pay money to see that. Freaking right, I will.
No. I do podcasts and I do publishing.
You must have the wrong John Goodwin. I'm telling you, I know the man. He ain't never done that. Unless he's hiding it. Maybe he's got some kind of fetish where he likes to do stand-up. I said, I don't know what y'all are talking about. No, he's sitting right there. You just heard what he said. Yes, I don't know. It's retard people. Clever.
Jim Meskimen is going to be at Salt Lake City FanX.
Yeah, I told him. I said I doubt I'll see him because I'm pretty sure they're going to have me down in Pensacola for FanX, but that's the way it's looking like anyway.
Yeah.
And then I got to go make up with this guy in Buffalo. I got to go up there and take care of that. And I keep putting this guy off, and it's a documentary. I shouldn't put it off. I've just been preoccupied with that stuff. And then my son decided he's going to get married and go take a 2-week honeymoon. I'm like, dude, we're kind of busy. I love you, but we're kind of busy, son. That doesn't matter. And yes, Denise, he got married. Yes. He'd been with a woman 3 years. It wasn't like a rush thing or anything. And they started telling me, Dad, I might be a grandpa in the future. I was like, Oh, Lord, y'all
You're gonna love it.
What do you mean? I'm already a grandpa. I'm actually a great great grandpa.
Are you?
Thanks to my wife's side of the family. Yes, I am. So my stepdaughter is in down the hallway right now. Her daughter is my granddaughter. Her oldest son is my great grandson, and he just had a baby, which makes me a great great grandfather.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Which I am entirely too too young to be that. But what can you do, people? Yes, what can you do? That's why I let the beard grow gray. I'm like, shit, if I'm be a great grandpa, I might as well have the beard. No. Again, no.
People talking to you about asking about the podcast awards, like what the
because they don't. Nobody wants to talk to me about the podcast awards because they don't want me bitching at them about you better go vote. I was, matter of fact, I was on KLGA. Is that what it is? KG, whatever it is. KLGA. Anyway, you're out of Florida, and I was on the show the other day, and we were talking, and he said, "Well, somebody said y'all are up for podcast." I said, "Yeah, 3 of our shows, actually, 4 of our shows are up for podcast awards." I said, "I have 2." I said, "John Goodman's up for 1 with Writer's Future," and I said, "The girls, Michelle and Amelia, are up for 1 with The Outer Realm." And he's like, "Really?" He said, "How do you do that?" I said, "Just go talk to the guys, get it, and hope you win." He said, "So anybody can do it?" I said, "Mostly anybody can do it." I said, "It's better if you get sponsored." I said, "But if you don't, you can go in." While we're talking, he goes to the website, right? He said, "Well, they won't let me." I said, "I think it might be too late now." I said, I didn't think it was, but it might be.
Yeah, so right now.
And he said, "Well, I see where I can donate like $2,500. Would that help me win?" I said, "No." He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure." I said, "Because none of the winners got that kind of money." I said it's not that. Todd, I have no idea, man. And where'd the other Todd go? Because we had Todd Lippert in the room a few minutes ago, along with. Oh, I don't know where y'all went. Okay, that was really weird. My screen just cleared itself. Okay, I love y'all too. I will tell y'all this. I put the podcast awards in this. So, we're in China. Most people know we broadcast in China. Well, Beijing, one of our servers in Beijing allows us to post like a art piece on the picture on the front of the computer that they just click and it takes them. So right now it has the podcast awards. And if you click the right side, it takes you to the podcast awards. If you click the left side, it takes you to the radio station. I didn't tell them which side it was, by the way. So they're just playing click, click, click. Yes, people, I want to win. I don't care. I'll cheat. Y'all don't get it. When do you have to win? That's what life's about, is winning. Life's about hope, really, but winning's more fun. And we talked. Oh, by the way, we talked about some World War stuff too, and some voices out of there. He did some English voices. We did a couple of those, which were pretty cool. We're talking about Jim, guys. I don't know if y'all were here for him or not, but if you're not, you can catch the archive later on. Yes, you can. I'd like to see Emily do a voice. Yes, Emily, you want to do a voice for us?
I don't know. What voice would you like?
See that she can do a voice. Look. No, she's Canadian. She's not Australian or British. She's Canadian. Yes.
Yeah.
She's related to Pink Shorts. What can I tell y'all? It's and Denise, before you ask, because I've seen the question coming up, and I'm being telepathic tonight, empathic. I call him Pink Shorts because one afternoon I was looking up to see if he was Castro's kid or not, and he was dressed in a pink shirt with pink short. I mean, we're talking hot pink and short shorts. I'm like, and he's wait, is this the Prime Minister of Canada? And I'm thinking, we're worried about Trump. Oh my God, man, go put some clothes on. And then, of course, a couple months later, I seen him wrapped in a Canadian flag, naked. I said, "That's it.
Really?
That's it." Yeah, you didn't see that one? Oh, that was just. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, but still, I don't want to see the guy running my country. In
the flag.
Yes, that should be some porn show somewhere. Yeah, but I did write to them and say, vote for us at podcastawards.com. And, since he loves me so much, I figure you might as well send it over to him as well. This month we've actually did quite well in Canada, which is weird. Usually Canada is usually like 11th or 12th on the list. This week they were 4th.
Wow.
So I don't know what's going on up there, but hey, Canadians, we love y'all. So
the Canadian hosts up there.
We do have a lot of Canadian hosts. What, 6 or 7 of them? So 2 girls, 4, 5, 7. We got 7 of them. We have 7 Canadian hosts. Yes, we do. And we have 4 girls and 3 boys. 5 girls and 2 boys. I'm sorry. There you go. Yes, they're from Canada. And, of course, Dave Scott's up there. He's another Canadian. He's in Vancouver. No, he didn't get any damn awards. Well, you know what, Claire? When you go on his show this week, make sure you mention that Joe wants y'all to vote. Yes, just it'll aggravate him, but go ahead and do it anyway.
How long does the voting go for the podcast awards?
Till the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
So we got 30 days or 31 days, no 30 days, and y'all gotta go vote. And I mean, just look, it takes all of like 30 seconds. Click, 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 click. You can vote. I mean, there's lots of shows to vote for over there. So you could get carried away like I did, go vote for everybody. For each category. Or you can just go vote for the shows that you want to go vote for, which y'all heard at the beginning of the show, which you'll hear again in the archive at the end of the show. Yes, go vote. John says he's going to cry like a baby if you don't go vote for him. He said he is tired of this crap. Yes. What do you mean put Emily on this show? What are you talking about? Emily's... Oh, I don't know if Emily's been on Writers of the Future podcast. I have not seen her lovely face up there, come to think about it.
I have. When I was moderating panels at conventions, John recorded it and put a podcast.
Oh, that don't count. No, that don't count. No, we got to see a real one. Well,
what's a real one?
I don't know, but apparently somebody here went and looked and found out.
You want John to interview me?
I guess that's what they're doing. That's
you know how it's going to go? You're going to say, oh, wait. You got the little princess on your lap there.
Yeah, she said she'll interview you. Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Okay, I will definitely do an interview with your chihuahua.
Oh, so one's going to talk. The other one's going to see how this one's all quiet and good. And yeah, this is my alarm system, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know what this is. This is an alarm system, which belongs to the wife. And as you've seen it, she snatched it and ran. And that's the boss lady running around. So people really, though, in all fairness, and all not being funny, writersofthefuture.com, go vote for them, vote for News on the Flipside, vote for UFO Undercover, and vote for The Outer Realm with Michelle and Amelia. Just go vote.
Yeah.
The Allen's on up for award this year. She looks like Marilyn. She'd have probably freaking won. I know she got that Marilyn thing down. Y'all haven't seen the Allens yet, have you? She looks like Marilyn Monroe. She's from England, by the way. And she does the whole Marilyn thing. I mean, the whole thing. Oh, wow. I love her accent, but I always love the British accent. So that's
speaking of England. One thing that just came up too. We just finished the standings for the second quarter for Rise of the Future, and for the first time ever, we had 4 people from the UK as finalists in for the Writers' Con. We've never had that many before. I think
I love the UK. So
yeah.
I told Jim. I said, Jim, I want a commission since you did that audiobook. He said, why? I said, because I bitch John all the time. I want audio books. He said, I bitch him all the time. I need audio. And no, really, yeah, you heard that, Denise. Yeah, I know I did, because I need him. I don't have time to read anymore. I set John and I got some specials coming up in the near future, which we'll give y'all the dates and times when we do it. And so those I actually got to sit down and read, because that's how it's going to happen. I need to feel them anyway to go through them. But we're going to do 12 books. It's going to be 4 shows, 3 hours a show, and it's going to be interesting stuff. Is all I can tell you.
Yep.
We're gonna take our time and give y'all a proper education on some stuff. Yes, and then you can ask questions or moan, bitch, or gripe. Any gripes, moans, or bitches that you got to send to Emily, because I'm not fielding them. I'm not fielding them. And Michelle's just gonna tell you. So, I'm just warning y'all ahead of time. Emily's all sweet and nice and stuff. Yeah, she is. No, she's really nice. No, she really is. She's nice in person. What are you talking about, Christopher? You've met him. When did you meet Emily? Christopher Johnson. When did you meet her? She don't know who the hell you are. Where do you live? Where? Sacramento? Well, you do live in California, but still, I don't think you've met her.
Where?
Oh, you know what? Talk about it no more. Get out of here with your bullshit. Bullshit. Get out of here, man.
We have another Chinese winner this year too, because we've had so much media in China. So we have another Chinese winner this year.
That's I like it's such a nice group of people. Y'all you come in when they come in from overseas. They're always so nice and polite.
Yeah.
And y'all had such nice Chinese media, or I should say, or Asian media. They shouldn't say Chinese.
Yeah.
But Asian media. They had a great group there. They were really nice people. I talked to a couple of them. Did a little card swapping on some stuff. So, well, no, they're a really nice group of people. I mean, it's hard unless you're following one of us online. You don't know what actually is going on. But I'm there to gate. I broadcast everything I see live while I'm there. Everything goes on. Everything my phone sees, y'all see. Michelle picks it up and sends it out. Yes. I don't know. John and them got a test pattern. I don't know what happened to him there.
We're going back to a different camera.
They got the test pattern. Oh, there y'all. Look at that. Y'all back.
Our camera kind of quit.
It just died.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weird electronics things lately going on. I don't know what that's about. That's like I was trying to talk to Maleva the other day. She kept calling me and she wouldn't let us talk to each other for like the first 3 calls. It was like, nope, y'all don't need to talk. Jackie. Oh, I like that Jackie O. Do you look like Jackie O? Do you really? Post me a picture. Send me a picture in here. I don't believe you. I'm not a real believing kind of person, people. John will tell you that. He knows. Send me a picture. I want to see it. You're gonna so y'all in Tampa like at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna be starting. San Diego Comic-Con is coming up 20 to 23rd of July, so we'll be down there for the San Diego Comic-Con. Then the Tampa Bay Comic-Con is 27 to 30 July, so we'll be there at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con. That's gonna be fun.
Well,
Florida humidity.
No, yeah, it's gonna be muggy as hell down there.
Oh yeah, and then.
Are you going to be there, Joe, for that one? Do you think
I'm going to try because that's Stephanie Reese just asked us. She wanted to know if she could meet you, and she was asking me if I was coming. I'm actually, guys, I'm going to try. No, I want to go. Well, I can catch it with them anytime I can. Tampa's really not that far for us. It's about 12 hours. It's unless I fly.
Brandon Sanderson is going to be there as well, and Tim Powers, like we just talked about, he's possibly going to be coming down there also.
Do I have? Oh man, I don't have. Oh, my daughter's got it. That's right. Lazarus. I got Lazarus' new book. And I'm not kidding you. It was on the table. My daughter reads the title of it. She says, "Can I have it?" I said, "No, you can't have it. It's going on my desk." I said, "That's why I told him to send it to me." "Well, can I read it?" Poop, she was gone. I said, "Boo." She said, I said, "I got to have it back for the 12th." I said, "He's coming on the show." I said, "So I got to have it back." She's like, "All right, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it." I said, "Go ahead and read it." You know, I said, "I don't mind. Read the damn thing. I mean, just make sure I get it back in my hands. That's all." And so
it's a good sign.
It looks interesting. I mean, like I said, I haven't read it, but it looks interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see what that's about. But he's going to be on. Lazarus Black's going to join us, ladies and gentlemen, on Wednesday the 12th for 2 hours. He'll be with us, and she will be with us on the 19th. Yes, that's the lady from Pensacola Con. Yes, so she'll be on with us. We'll be talking about what's going on in Pensacola at the end of the month or the end of next month. Sorry, end of September. I'm way off. Yes, so we'll talk about all of that. There's a bunch of other people joining us over the next couple of weeks. Carmen just likes to keep me in suspense, so I don't know who's on with us next Friday. Actually, I think I do, but still, he likes to keep me in suspense. And so John and them are with us for another couple of weeks because we got a couple of weeks left here because we want you to see their lovely faces so you know when you go click the button, click, click, click. And Mark, I don't think you can do that. Oh, wait. So you want them? Oh, that is not happening. So Mark said you could get more votes if you put Emily's face as your icon on the thing. I don't think that works. I don't know, man. We that's cheating anyway. Stop it. There's some Jim fans in here saying that, by the way. That was too much. I think we should put John's face up there. John's all handsome looking and stuff. It's look at that face. I mean, that's a face you can love there. Oh, you mean I should put Lola up on one of mine? Yeah, Lola probably would.
You should.
Lola gets all kind of little clicks, man. A little witch. Well, right now, her and Fiona are battling on TikTok who's getting the most clicks. Well, Fiona got this little precious little face that Lola don't have, but Lola's just cute. She's just cute,
So
and she's bad. Yeah, she's bad. She's an alien dog, is what she is. Again, go vote. I seen that little smart ass comment went by. Go vote. I know where all y'all live. I'm going to send everybody a nasty book this year if y'all don't go vote. You know, I mean, not like that, you moron. I mean,
That's gonna
never
sound-
mind. Never mind. That just did not come out right altogether. Go vote. I'm serious. Go over to People's Choice Awards. It's not hard. That's linked right off the UPRN site. You can go click on the pretty little banner. It takes you right there. Click, 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 and you got it. We're right there. The categories are listed. Well, you'll hear them on the podcast on the award thing when it runs, or if you listen to the beginning of the show, they're there, and it'll tell you what categories we're in. But I know I'm in entertainment on UFO Undercover and news and politics on UFO Undercover. I mean on News on the Flip Side. Michelle is under women. What is it? Influence of women.
Female narrator.
Yeah, best female.
Yeah.
And then John, and then John's on the 3 categories.
Yeah,
right?
we got education, storytelling. We got education. We've got art, and we got storyteller drama. So 3 categories there that we've got for our podcast there.
But no, Carol, it doesn't work like that. He can win all 3 categories actually, but no, he can't win one from the 3. That's what you're asking, right? No, he can't combine the votes from 3. So it's each category.
Yeah.
Yes. So vote in all 3 categories is what we're saying. Yes. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Well, because there's a lot of competition here. It's not like there's no competition. I mean, it's nice to see us get runners up and stuff like that because it's a serious amount of competition that you're good. Just the fact that we place anywhere is nice when you find out how many people were there and how many people voted.
Over 5 million people did the initial voting. It's crazy.
Yes. So John, the 5 million are great. That's not where our problem is. Our problem was with the 500. We got to get more of them voting.
Yeah.
I'll give y'all a book. Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you a book. You vote for me. You got to prove you vote to take a picture. No, take a picture. You got to vote for all 4 of us. All 4 shows. Take a picture. Send it to me. I'll send you a book. Oh, I got books. No, I always got books, my friend. Yes, I always do.
And if you're not familiar with the podcast, you should, or on the shows, you should actually listen to them, just see what it is. So it's not just like I did it because Joe's going to
whine and bitch. That's exactly right.
Joe threatened me.
Hey, I'm this year I'm gonna use my empathic abilities on anybody who doesn't vote, and I'm gonna give you nightmares for 6 months. Yes.
Whoa.
You're gonna think that there's a lizard crawling on your face every night.
Well, if they live in Florida, they might really have a lizard.
They might actually.
Every night.
Or they might even have something bigger than a lizard, but still. Florida's getting weird lately. They got iguanas, they've got boa constrictors, they've got alligators, they got crocodiles. It's a dangerous place, people. Plus they got, you know what's really bad, people? You can face all those animals, you got less chance of getting killed by one of them than a Floridian. I'm just telling you. You got more chance of getting killed by a Floridian than you do from the creatures that live in the swamp.
This is true.
It's DeSantis is calming his state down, but still there's a lot of work to be done there.
Yeah.
That still doesn't help my votes though. Okay. Vote. I got a bunch of books sitting right here, right next to my feet, guys. And then I got some over there. And then I got Lazarus' book that just came in, which I probably won't give that away till Christmas, but still it'll get given away this Christmas. Carol, I only keep autographed books. That one's not autographed because it's going to be right here, probably for 6 months or 3 months. It's going to be sitting next to John's or over where 38 is actually. And y'all will be able to see it for a while. And then eventually it'll get flipped down like this one. And then it'll stay there until Christmas, and then we'll probably give it away. Yes. We're not giving away any Writers of the Future's books until Christmas. Yeah. You can get them. You can purchase them at GalaxyPress.com.
But they're Books A Million if you're there in the South. We've got all the Barnes and Noble stores. Almost every independent carries them or can get it right away.
So I got where's it at?
We've got them in Canada, up in all the stores up there. We got South Africa and Australia and UK. So
and if you're in South Africa, you can also probably get a copy at the South Africa Comic Con coming up in September. We'll have a booth there.
So I got a couple different things. So what I'm gonna do is, I just said you can go over to GalaxyPress.com. Actually, if you go to the website, it'll take you right to this particular book.
Yeah.
That's how we've got it set up. So if you go to our website and click on, you'll see the banner. Just click on it because you can see the lovely artwork, and you click, it'll take you right to that. Now you can go all over the press. There's lots of stuff that matter of fact, we were talking about Battlefield Earth and how you can get it on an audio, or you can get it on thing, or you can get it on a pad. And I didn't know Jim's pad got stolen too. We were both talking about that. I was like, what the freaking kind of luck is this, man? We were talking about that because we were talking about Battlefield Earth and Mission Earth. And we talked a good bit about both of them because I didn't know he was the what's his face. And I got to laugh and I said, well, you the sleazy bastard on Mission Earth. And I've been enjoying it. I think I'm on part 4 right now. I got to go look and see. And then I think I got to take a break for a week or two because I got other stuff coming up. But guys and girls, no, we told y'all earlier we can't give you Mission Earth. You got to wait till it comes out. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's not our control. We just got lucky and got it early. That's all. I'm having a blast listening to it. No, I'm having a blast listening to it. So far, like I said, I told John this in the very beginning. The first, like, I don't know, 10 or 15 pieces, whatever you call them, was kind of slow. But then it started picking up. When you get into chapter 2, it starts really picking up. And then the more you go, it just goes along as you go. That's all I can tell you. There's nothing else I can tell you, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the protagonist is just a pig dog slob from hell. So I don't know what else to say about him.
We can read the book.
It's
can buy the book.
To. Go ahead,
you can get the books on Amazon. That's fine. But yeah, you're right on that stuff. It's an Earth invasion story, but it's totally reversed from what you're used to. It's like the main speaker is the villain of the piece, and the whole thing is they're coming in. They have to save Earth to keep it from destroying itself, and that's what Mission Earth is.
And when you listen to this guy will, I don't care who you are, after you've listened to for about an hour or two, you're going to be like, oh my God, does he really think this? It's just too much.
It's the hero's journey told through the voice, through the confession of the villain.
Yes, and it's well worth, when it comes out as an audio, you should listen to it.
Yeah.
You can go get it right now. We gave away like a case last year. John had sent me. So yeah, they went fast. No, they went fast because I had been talking about it for a while. Because I caught a piece of it off the pad, but I've been listening off the app. And but no, those I don't think I have any. I will look, guys, and see what I got book wise in here. But I don't think I have any of them left. But I just told y'all we're not giving away any Galaxy Press books until till December, till Christmas. And I'm only going to give them away the week before and the week of. Well, because first off, these guys got to make some money. And secondly, that's just how we're doing it this year. No, there'll be books given away all of December like there usually is, but it's going to be different. The first week will be somebody else. Week 2 and 3 will be these guys right here, and week 4 will be somebody else. And no, it's just how it is. So right now, if you want to read Galaxy Press anything, go over to the site and click. The book's like $20, man. I think it's $22. I mean, it's cheap as hell.
Yeah.
In today's economy, that's cheap. Now, 5 years ago, that might not have been as cheap, but today, that's cheap. Trust me.
And it has full color art from all the winners of the Illustrator contest. So each story has full color art with it. It's pretty cool.
And I don't know if they still have any or not, but Barnes & Noble had some autographed ones. I don't know if they have any left or not.
Books A Million.
Books A Million, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Books A Million had some autographed ones. So
they do. You can go to the Books A Million website. You can get it autographed or not autographed.
Yeah, so go over. You should go get the autograph one because you never know which one of these are going to hit the big time.
Mm-hmm.
No, my autographs are different. You don't get none of my autograph books. Just get over it. I'm upset right now because I can't find 37. It's hidden somewhere in here. I got to get my office and dig around. I'm hoping I didn't send them to somebody by accident. I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
No.
If you go to Galaxy Press, you'll be able to, you find that book there. But we've got all the other books too that Aaron Hubbard wrote because he published like well over 200 fiction books. He was like amazingly prolific.
Well, that's why Jim and I were talking about it because some of those are in audio.
Yeah. A lot of them.
So that's what I was telling him. I said, that's how the pad came up. I said, well, John sent me this pad. And I said, I thought it was going to just be all reading. I was like, and then when I started looking through it, I said, man, there's a bunch of audio in here. And I said, I just started flipping it and I would find when I hit click and then I would just put it on the car and listen. And then we were both talking about that. And he started talking about how many of they added in. And he taught his wife and his daughter and all about this one right here. We were talking about it. And he was talking about one of his favorite parts about doing this particular one was some of them required that he had to get into character. Not all of them, but some of them had to require that he got into character.
Yeah.
So we talked about that as well. We actually talked about quite a bit, really. And but it's well, you know, once I get to yapping, you got to talk to shut me up. So it's he learned that real fast. I don't work. It didn't take him long to figure it out.
Study.
Yeah, he's a quick study. No, you can't have this one, guys. No, that one has special autographs. That's not even just a regular autograph. That one has special. If that one ever goes, I'm going to sell that one. That's not going for free. I can hang it up. No, I don't know. I don't put the picture anymore because every time I put in a picture, somebody goes, when are you going to auction it? When are you going to put it up? God, the other day, you should auction it for charity. I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, as it is right now, I'm trying to figure out how to sell it to give me another one. He's like,
well, it depends how much you could get for it at an auction. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know, but it probably would go pretty good just because of who originally designed it. And I think because Frank was associated to it, I think it would go pretty good. Of course, it is signed and numbered, which always helps. Oh, God, people, stop whining. Hold on a second. Hold on. There it is right there. There you go. It's right there. Yes.
So that's the Frank Frazetta print that he did in the 80s for the Battlefield Earth. So in 2016, when we republished Battlefield Earth, we used that on the cover. It's a gorgeous Frazetta piece.
How much of those?
It is.
Still have any of those?
Yeah, we still have some of those. If you go to galaxypress.com, you can still get an autograph Frazetta.
How much are they?
It's like, I don't know,
1,500?
1,200, something like that.
Yeah, they're not cheap, people, but they're well worth it. I can tell you that.
I
Maybe
mean,
because
those are real signatures. He
Yes.
signed. These are
the late
numbered and autographed.
He has 2 records now. He beat his own record. So they've been auctioning off some original Frazetta pieces, and just last week he broke his own record of 5.3 million, and now his latest one was 6.2 million.
Damn.
I know, it's crazy.
So it was the one that was on the Molly Hatchet album cover.
No, well, I could see that. That's what was it? Oh no, guys, I got a couple of these. So if you go over to galaxypress.com, you'll see them. There's a couple of different pictures you can get. There's one.
The Lieutenant, and that's.
There's 2 I had at the last time I seen them. I think it was at Dragon. No, it was at FanX that I was trying to get. So I said, "Sarah, let me just put this in my suitcase." She's like, "I'm watching you, Joe. I'm keeping an eye on you." No, it's not going to disappear. No, they're great. They're great. Oh no, people, I've been spending too much money. I can't spend no money right now. But oh yeah, Dean, if you want to buy one, galaxypress.com, send it to my house. Yeah, feel free. I'm telling you, once you see it, you're not gonna want to part with it.
That's amazing.
They got some really good ones over there. Yes,
Frank Frazetta is a total legend.
Just galaxypress.com. That's the best way to do it.
Search for Zeta.
You're talking about writersofthefuture.com. That's where you submit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't send me any artwork. It doesn't do you any good to send it to me. I'm not going to send it to John and Emily. I'm just going to tell you to send it to writersofthefuture.com.
Yeah, you go to writersofthefuture.com. On the left side, you navigate the bar there, and you can enter illustrator contest, enter writer contest. You can also sign up and do the free online writing workshop. You can click and listen to the podcast. We've got a newsroom. We've got a forum. You can join the forum, which is also free. That you can join. You can there and talk with other writers and other artists, and they can help cheer you on and give you tips and advice, and build similar like-minded people too, because it's a definite world that you're living in when you're an author and illustrator.
Well, Harold's writing in from Toronto, and he goes, "I've heard you and Emily talk about chocolate." He said, "I'm going to send y'all each a case of chocolate so that you can give to the judges so I can get my book published."
No.
Oh, no, it doesn't work that way.
It's not going to make it past me if you send Canadian chocolate.
Yeah,
but
that's true, too.
Be grateful if you
Yes,
send.
we'll be very happy. Feel free.
And we'll probably work out a counter caper for you, if you do that.
Yeah.
Look, let me, and I've said this a million times. I have no pull, people. None. Not with John or Emily, not with the judges, other than aggravating them. I have not even a little bit of pull. I do know a bunch of the judges, and I'm friends with a few of them now, but it ain't going to help you.
But it's a blind judge contest. So if you submit your story, even if Joe knows your name and tells the judge will have no
idea.
Because the name, anything, the story just gets assigned a number and it goes to the judges like that. There is no way for Joe to forward your name along. So.
And if you actually leave your name on the story itself, because the way the portal works, you create a cover page which has all your statistics on your name and your phone number and address and stuff like that, email. Then when you upload the story, you can't have your name anywhere on it. If it does, it's automatically disqualified. It won't even make it past the slush readers if your name is anywhere that the judge can see it.
Marco, what I would do, I would submit as early as they open a quarter. They get
It's
a lot
open
of submissions.
It's just
Yeah.
open.
So you have till September 30th, but the sooner you get it in, the better.
I agree.
Judges will start going through, and people go, "Oh, I'm going to submit it at the last minute." Well, guess what? The judges, when they get like a huge pile of stories at the last minute, they're not going to spend as much time on it. So, people don't think with that, but the earlier you send it in, the better, because
that's what I'm saying. With my advice, send it in ASAP. I think you'll come out better.
Yeah.
Well,
My advice is submit. I'm going to take away any of the time or date parameters on it. Just get it in there, because some people being able to submit is a major achievement. So I want to acknowledge that for just doing that itself. We've definitely had some people that have won, like Wolf Moon. He submitted in the last hour of the last day of the last quarter, and that was his winning story. Dean Wesley Smith, same thing. He submitted it, got in the mail just before they closed. The post office closed that day, which is the last day of the quarter, of the last quarter for that year. So there are exceptions to that, but get your story in soonest. But the senior to that is get your story in.
Marco, if I remember right, first print is theirs, but you keep ownership of your story.
Yes, you keep all the rights to your work.
Yes, I don't know who told you that.
So you can sell it elsewhere later.
Yeah, this is the third person who told me this in last week. I don't know who told y'all that. No, that's not true. They don't keep the copyright on your story. They don't even keep the copyright on a 24-hour story.
None.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I've heard several of them have sold. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get into what it is, guys, but if you win, you'll know what it is. Yes, we've talked about it before. You can go listen to when we've talked with some of the winners, and you'll find out what we're talking about. We've actually been through what goes on there, as much detail as I can give you. I can only give y'all so much detail without getting Emily on my ass. So, or John for that matter. But it's, well, no, unfortunately, guys, a lot of this is secret. You got to win. None of it's funny business. Y'all know I've been down there. And when I say secret, I just mean what's being taught, because you got to win. I mean, if these judges wanted to do this on their own, they could all go out and do classes, but they want you to come. They want you to win and come to them and learn well from the best.
Yeah, and when you go as a winner there, they assume because you won the contest that you know how to write already. So now they teach you how to be professional, and that's what makes this such a level above all other types of writing workshops, because they assume you can write a story. But now, how do you sell it? How do you promote yourself? How do you make a living with writing or illustration? How do you, for an artist, how do you put together a presentation? How do you put together a portfolio? To what degree do you vary what your works are versus targeting what you're trying to do? So all this stuff has gone over. How do you really, make a living as a writer or as an artist? So we take you serious that you want to do it.
They do. They bring you through a lot of ways. I mean, it's not just, they teach you a lot of different things. They teach you different ways to write, but they also just teach you general business that you need to know if you're going to be successful in the future.
Right.
Actually, Carol, I'll answer that for John and Emily, but if you want to know business, if I had to pick any of the writer judges to talk to about business the most, it would be Dean.
Yeah.
It's him and I, we got with a group and we went over just being sole proprietorship, S Corp, Corp, the whole bunch of it. It helps you to understand. A lot of people don't understand that stuff. I didn't, when I went into business, if I didn't have friends that tell me what the hell it was, I'd have been like, wait, what's this? Wait, what am I supposed to be doing?
And that's Dean Wesley Smith. He's a
Yes.
very established author. He's a ghostwriter. He's a publisher. He knows everything about.
He does. He really does. Jack, I don't need to be a corporation. I don't make that kind of money. No, I'm actually in between an S Corp and a corporation. Yes. Yeah, it's hard to explain. Well, because the station does one thing, but the other company does something entirely different. So they kind of have to. It's hard to explain, but they got to kind of marry. And then I've got iCar, which takes in money, but it's just complicated. That's why it's good to know, have somebody be able to explain it to you. An accountant, I don't know. The only thing I use accountant for is if I'm investing something. Yeah, everything else I take care of myself, or the boss lady, which one of us is ever doing it. No, John's the president of Galaxy Press. Yeah, I got a couple of questions, guys, because we're getting ready to get out of here. They got to go to bed. It's late for them. No, I'm just kidding. It's early for them. It's only 10 o'clock out there.
Yeah. But you said you said you turned into a pumpkin at midnight and somebody else started.
I'll pop into one. What was that, Laura Lee? I'm sorry.
You're going to pop into a pumpkin?
Pop into something, you never know. What was it? No, he just explained that, but you have to submit. That's the only way you can win.
Yeah.
There's no tickets. You can't get invited. Well, you know what? If you're really like somebody powerful, you might get invited. Other than that, I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. Just win. Look, you can't, and I've said this, look, if I had a quarter for every time I said this, I could retire. If you don't submit, you can't win. You can bitch, you can moan, you can gripe. But if you don't send it in, whatever it is, you're wasting everybody's time. You can talk to us. I'm going to tell you what Dean and Tim Powers told me when I was talking about writing. He said, just write the thing and then talk about it. I'm serious. That's what they told me. Yeah, no, I'm not playing with you. That's exactly what they told me. And I have to agree with them. Why talk about it? Just get it done and then go through it and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Or send it to Emily. Maybe she'll fix it. She's like, hell no. I'm not fixing
the Writers of the Future Forum, and there might be people there that will help you fix it up.
And, there's lots of writers groups out there. I mean, I've talked to a lot of these authors, and there's lots of groups out there that are willing to work with. And a lot of these winners are in groups. You can meet them, and they'll tell you they're from writers. They've won Writers of the Future. And a lot of them got good jobs because of it. Well, the Writers of the Future is very well respected. They do a good thing for people.
Our winner, Chris Arias from Costa Rica, because he's had so much media since winning. He was Dan Farr set him up with the owner of the Costa Rica Comic Con. He went there as a special guest. He's been covered in every media. He just had a 5.5-minute feature by the biggest TV station in Costa Rica. But now,
we also had Michael Machera.
But now,
he's now Dark Horse wrote to him and asked them, for Chris to submit some artwork for some upcoming comics for Dark Horse. So
Dark Horse is one of the biggest comic and graphic novel publishers in the world. Yeah. So this is awesome. He's totally over the moon.
Yes, because that's what I'm saying, people. I mean, it's when you go in for a job and you say, hey, I won this. And if you're a big winner and you say I'm the big one, I mean, it can do nothing but help you. It's not going to hurt you in any way.
We had Mike Shera. He was a grand prize winner from a few years ago. He just wrote me 2 days ago saying that, he's like, oh, by the way, I did a lot of the concept art for the new Transformers movie. I'm like, wow.
That's great stuff. Denise, recently we've had on several authors that are working on novels right now or trilogies or anthologies. We just talked about Lazarus anthology just recently. But we talked about somebody else's before that. And recently we've had some past winners on, not from this year, but from other years on as well. We've been kind of mixing and matching. Listen to what they're saying to you guys. A lot of these guys are working. Mm-hmm. A lot of these guys give these two guys right here credit for it. Yes, they do everything. Nobody else does anything. They're the only two that work. Yeah. No, they don't do anything. Yes. Now, if anybody else over there hears this, they're going to hurt me next time they see me. I've said this so many times, people, but look, when this is going on, I mean, these two are nonstop anyway. It's a good way of taking care of the ADHD, without having to go to the doctor. Just keep going. But no, they're all going. Everybody there is nonstop. You'll see them from early in the morning to late in the evening. If they're not putting in 14 hours a day, they're not getting up, or more. Now, I shouldn't even limit it because there's a lot of times it's more than that. Yeah. And they're there for y'all. They want to see y'all succeed. If y'all succeed, they succeed. I don't think y'all understand it. And when you listen to the different judges talking about paying forward, they're actually being serious. Mm-hmm. The first time I heard him say this, I was like, okay, really? But now I've heard it enough times that I know they're actually serious about what they're saying.
They are.
So that's a lot for you people. You're not going to, let me tell you what, you're not going to walk up to half the people we've talked about on this show tonight and say even hi to them. They're just going to ignore you. But if you're at Writers of the Future, they're not going to ignore you. They're going to help you. So just get in. And look, you're not going to win well, I shouldn't say you're not going to win the first time. But, authors have a harder time winning first times than illustrators do. But submit. You're gonna win. If you're good, you're gonna win. Somewhere along the line.
And the thing too is, if you get the book and read it, that lets you know how good you have to be to win.
Yeah.
You know,
it does.
And the illustrators are just like, oh my gosh. I never got past messing up my stick people, but these artists now are just like they're blow away. They are so amazing.
They are great people, and they're getting younger and younger each year. No, I'm serious. People, they're winning early and they're young, and a lot of these people have long, happy
the writers,
careers ahead of them.
grand prize winner this year just turned 70.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. The authors are usually. So I've been 4 groups with them. So for me, the majority of authors are somewhere between say 34 and 50. The majority. They have youngers and they have olders. Wait, what should be?
Last year we had a 17-year-old author.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. They do have youngers and olders. I'm just talking about like a median age.
Yeah.
And well, no, the first year I was with him, one of the authors I met he was 69, I believe.
Yeah.
And well, wait, that was Steve, wasn't it? That was this guy right here, I think. Wasn't it him?
Steve Pandaz he's probably early 50s now.
Oh, okay. So that's somebody else. All right. I'm getting them confused. No, I have not given that book away yet. No, not yet. Just calm
You show a book instantly, people are like, are you giving it away?
Yeah, because they've gotten used to it now. And okay, guys. So I'll tell y'all a little secret for everybody listening tonight, because I got to let these guys go real quick. So we have a couple of campaigns going on for books across the network for the next couple of months. There's 2 different campaigns running. One's for Writers Futures, one's for another group. And we want to move some books. So I want y'all to pay attention and think about the holidays coming up. Think about your friends. So this is what I'm going to do. And I have no idea what we're going to do. So everybody who buys this book before Christmas, I'd like to see y'all do it like in a month or so. But whoever, you got to have to send me the receipt, because I'm not going to just take your word for it. Take a picture of the receipt and email me. And if you do, I'll guarantee you a book for Christmas for free. Wow. I'll guarantee you'll get it before Christmas for free.
Which book is that? Writers the Future of All 39?
Yeah,
this is 39 right here. Yeah. So
several books. We'll send you several books so that you don't have to send in that book again. So we'll have other books like that.
So go over there, buy this book. Well, I get books from John, but we get books from a lot of people for the holidays. And I want y'all to go buy this one. Send me the receipt. If you buy more than one, I'll send you more than one book. Yeah, I'm serious. Buy this one, and we'll go from there. But remember, take a picture of the receipt, send it to me in an email, send it to me in a message if you know me. Everything you see up here is autographed, but there are a few other books laying around, and we got some coming in from some other stuff, and then we've got some one-timers. So if sometimes the artists send them to me, they're autographed, they're one-timer books, they're going to go in my personal collection, or I should say Linda's personal collection. And but when we get them non-autographed, we give them away. Or we get a lot of books in. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how many y'all buy or sell or whatever. Oh, and I was talking with one of the people over there, and they're going to be doing some packages. I forgot how many books she said it was going to be. It's going to be about $100, $120, but it's a decent-sized package. So I was talking with a good friend of mine about this earlier today, and we've been thinking about this, and he was telling me today that he's thinking about getting a couple packages and just bringing them to some of the areas or some of the schools or some of the libraries where, frankly, they're just dying for books. And then Karly and them, I was telling this to John earlier, want to go stuffing them in these little book libraries all over the place. And what we mean is, the ones you see in front of somebody's house.
Micro libraries, yeah.
Yeah, so last year somebody got a case from me last year. I went and stuffed them. And they're great, and these are great books to read. There's so many freaking stories in them.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get the book, it's not like you're getting one story. You're getting 12. Sometimes you're getting more than 12 stories. It just depends what was going on that year. But there's 12 winners every year. So that's what I said a few minutes ago. Each quarter is 4. So right now there's no winners. Y'all got 4 chances. Submit and win. If you win, write to me and say, well, Joni's the one who's going to call you. She got the best job in the whole freaking company. Look, when I talk to these winners and I say Joni, they're like, it's just funny as hell. Or when she calls them the first time before they actually know, that shit's just too much. It's a great interview. Well, you can hear that with some of the winners we've talked about, Joni. and everybody loves Joni.
Mm-hmm.
No, she beats up on me. She don't take no BS. Joe, sit down. I'm like, what? Sit down. I'm like, okay, Miss Joni, I'll sit down. I'm telling y'all, she don't play around, people. No, but she's great. Everybody over there is great. I have not met anybody over there I haven't liked, which is weird for me because I usually don't like anybody. So it's I really like John and him. I told him this year, which was funny for me because I hadn't seen him in a year when we talked, and I seen him at Dragon Con and I seen him at FanX, but for some reason this year I actually missed them suckers.
Aww.
And it was a really weird thing. I was like, wait a minute now, because I'm not that kind of person, to be honest with y'all. And so it was. Oh no, John, I love to death because John put up with a lot of bullshit from me for a whole year, and a lot. No, guys, I was mean to John, and I apologized to him a couple of times, but it was for y'all, and now y'all know. And this is something that special I was talking about with y'all. This will come out in that special we're talking about because I spent a lot of time with them going through everything that they do. And I got to tell you, listen, I've said this more times than I can count. John gave me carte blanche across the whole place. So I fly down. This is right after COVID. There's 2 sets of winners there. So there's 48 people running around like mad, or how many, but there's a bunch of them running around like mad people. And he said, okay, well, you can talk to anybody you want. So I thought he meant winners. He said, no, you can talk to the judges. You can talk to Arthur. Shit, he took me over to Arthur Service and introduced me to everybody. And I got to tell y'all this. Every time I asked a question, it wasn't like, or a hesitation. Every question I asked from whoever I asked it from was an instant answer. There was no bullshitting around. There was no stuff going on. They're hardworking, very nice people, very well-educated group. And all I can tell you is win so you can meet them. That's all I can tell you. And anything else, if you heard of more than that, is just bullshit. And if you think you got something, call me up. Y'all got my number online, or write to me because I'll nip it in the ass so you don't have to worry about it.
Well,
Or come see us at San Diego Comic Con, Tampa Comic Con.
Yes, come meet him down there and
Dragon Con, Salt Lake City FanX.
buy some books.
We'll
Like
also be at Country Cowboy Christmas in Las Vegas throughout.
that ought to be interesting.
It's a blast.
That is so much fun. It's a big rodeo show, but then they have all these like, booths and stuff. We're not in the main like Cowboy Christmas because that's too hectic. But we're over in the Stetson Country Christmas, which is a lot of fun.
And I get to wear my cowboy clothes, which I love because I'm from Arizona, so I get to wear my boots and my Stetson hat, and I'm just like a pig, and you know what?
I got maybe some rhinestone boots too.
But I got some other cowboy boots I don't wear when I see y'all, but I can
I'm
wear
sure
them.
you do, yeah.
I got some white boa constrictor that are really fine. And really,
Wow.
I'm sure you do.
I got a duster that comes all the way down.
We got to meet you in Vegas then.
I got nice. Man, I tell you what, the first time I ever bought a cowboy hat, I picked that son bitch up and I went, wait, how much? I was thinking it'd be like $20. I think it was like $350. I was like, what? You keep this hat? And but I like those dusters. Well, I like long jackets to start off with. So when I got it, because being in the Navy, we had them pea coats, so they were long. And then I got me a nice long gray jacket with a scarf, but I also have a duster, which is long with the hat and the boots. I look just like a redneck. I'm just kidding, people. Before y'all write to me. Any hate mail goes to Emily.
No.
Yes, it goes to Emily.
No.
Because she'll answer y'all back all nice and sweet. Y'all know how I'm going to answer you back, so send it to Emily. All right, one last question. We're going, people. Stop. It's late. It's I have no idea. It's like jibber jabber. Rewrite that. Come on, do it fast, because that's jibber jabber, whatever that is. Nah, that's jibber jabber. Okay, you mean Jim? No, John introduced me to Jim. He was a speaker at, was he a presenter or just a speaker?
He was a presenter at the Writers of the Future event.
At the gala, yeah. So, by the way, y'all can go catch him. The gala is available on a couple of different sites. Y'all can go catch him and look at him yourself and listen to him speak up there.
He was great in the event.
Now, one of my favorites there was Dan Farr because of his jacket.
Yeah.
And y'all can see that too as well. Y'all can go check it out.
Yeah,
all of it's up there. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of famous people attend, a lot of just everyday people, a lot of winners, a lot of family. Well, Denise, and I know y'all have heard me say this before. I'm going to say it again because they're here with me tonight. If you win, they pay for your family to come. The first time John told me that, I was like, "You're full of."
The whole family, but
oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Maybe I think it's the spouse. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask Joni.
Yeah,
but
it's like immediate or something.
And for the gala, you're.
Yeah. Oh, for the gala, yes, we do. Your whole family is invited to the gala, and it's a whole.
And it's a feast like you won't have anywhere else.
Five course, like excellent food. But yes, you're right.
You got to keep Joni at your food, though, man. She's bad. I had to put her at a different table this year because she kept trying to eat my food. I said, B, come sit over here by me. Joni got to go, man. Let me tell y'all what, getting that woman to sit down is like pulling freaking teeth, man. I'm telling you, I don't think I'm kidding. This year she wasn't at her table, but the first 2 years she was. And I was like, Joni, sit down and eat some. I am. I'm like, Joni, sit down and eat some. So one time she came out of grass and said, sit. So she sat, she took like 2 bites and she was gone. I was like, Lord have mercy. No, she's a sweetie. I like giving her hell, but all of them are actually really nice people. If they weren't nice, I wouldn't bother picking on them. Nah, y'all know how I am. I got to like somebody to pick them. If I don't like them, I just ignore them. I'm like, what? Who are you? What? No, get out of here. Leave me alone. Like some of my Chinese friends just lately, they're really mad at me. I caught them. Hang on, we're not going to get into it tonight. We'll save that for next Friday, ladies and gents. Oh, this is about crypto money and people trying to scam you to do crypto. I own Bitcoin. What are you talking? I have a miner, goofballs. What are you talking about? I get a coin about every 5 months, 6 months. I'm running 14, 12 core computers. What do you think? Yes, it actually can make some coins. The old days when I had the single core, it was like 3 years to make a coin. It's not anymore. Well, a friend of mine taught me he owns they actually own 2 Bitcoin farms. Big Bitcoin. Oh no, they're doing a couple $1 million a month. Oh. Yes, because they had money to start off with. You gotta have, the old saying, have money to make money. So they invested a couple million. Now they've paid themselves off and making a buttload of money. We'll see. John said he owns $100 million in Bitcoin. Yeah. He's gonna run for governor next year. Yeah, see, John, you should run for governor next year. I'll come move to Cali and back you. Maybe we should put Emily up for governor.
Yeah.
Look, anybody's better than Newsom, people. Come on. We're going, guys and girls. We're getting out of here before you get us in trouble. I got to go to bed.
Here again, Joe. It was great, and we wanted to be able to have another opportunity to tell people to go to podcastawards.com and vote for all of our shows, because it's important. And if the more we can get, for me, the podcast was created so that I could then provide that extra tip and keep it current with like what's happening in publishing, so that people can learn about it, get tips, keep their courage level up on being a writer or an artist, not give up, hear other people's stories of people they love and respect now, but their humble beginnings. They go, really? That's how you started? And just it's really encouraging for some people to be able to get that. So that's why I tried doing this thing. And I've got some major A-list authors as guests. You'd be amazed how they started. It was like, wow, that's how you started. But they are now. You're like, they're some of the most beloved writers and artists that you know.
Yep.
No, Sarah. John and I have 2 totally different interview styles. John's it's just 2 totally different ones. They're both good interviews. It's just different interviews, and we tend to ask different questions, which is nice for the guest. Yes. I'll tell you what I'll do. If you vote for us, and you're still going to have to prove it, you're going to have to snap a picture and show us that you voted for us. Yes, you are. I will give you whoever votes for us. I will give you access to the Gray Zone. Gray Zone's pay for listen only, ladies and gentlemen. It's Michelle DeRoche and I. It's only pay for listen, and it's not cheap pay for listen either. So I will give you access to 5 of the shows for every person who votes.
Nice.
Wow.
So be sure you take a picture of where you voted. And then, I'm doing 5 because we have 4 shows. Vote for all 4 shows, and I'll give you. I'll let you pick out the 5 you want, because there's like 60 or 70 of them over there. And I'll give you access to 5 each. Well, what it does, it's like a coin, and you have access to 5, whichever 5 you want to listen to. Yeah, so. But you got to vote. I like giving stuff away. I can't help myself. If I was rich, I'd give shit away every day. I'd give cars away. But just go do that. Take a picture, send it to me, and I'll give you access to the If you want them downloadable, send me the thing, and I'll give you a place where you can go download them. But I'll tell you now, you can't re-upload them. It won't let you because they're pay for listen. Yeah, they're locked. There's a lot of good information, and Michelle is one hell of a researcher, and we have some great conversations, and she keeps me from getting squirrely, so that's always fun. Yes. So anyway, y'all got that. You know about the other stuff we're going to give away at Christmas. So remember, if you buy one, I'll give you a book at Christmas. For every one you buy, we'll give you something at Christmas. I got lots of stuff coming in, so we gave away like 2,400 books last year. Don't trust me. There'll be plenty of books to go around, so how many are you going to buy? Like 10,000? Well, that's a little different. You buy.
If I'm from galaxypress.com, that'd be great. That's
what I'm saying. What do you mean? Look, I would prefer that y'all went to Galaxy Press and bought them and sent me the receipt. I won't make it a stickler thing because I want you to buy them, but I would prefer that you went to Galaxy Press. It's not, you don't have to. I mean, you can go to one of the other book places because I know a lot of y'all want to buy on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or somewhere.
That works too.
But I would, if their site is very secure, so you can go over there, just take a picture of the receipt and send it to me, and come Christmas time, we will give it to you. Yes, we'll give you a new book. Mm-hmm. I love giving away books. Matter of fact, the part one of the thing we're writing about the blood study comes out in November, so I'll give y'all, because that's not free either, so I'll give y'all one of those too. It's a lot of reading, yes. For someone who don't like to read, I had to do a lot of reading. But on that note, guys and girls, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us tonight, and I hope y'all all enjoyed News on the Flip Side with Jim earlier today, Jim Meskimen, and then, of course, John and Emily this evening. Be sure to go vote for us at peopleschoice.com. And again, buy one, get one free, basically. Buy one now. Of course, if you go vote for the 4 shows, I'll give you access, 1 coin for 5 shows on the Gray Zone. Great. Yes, I know all y'all got crushes on Michelle anyway, so we'll do it that way. On that note, guys, good night. Stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott. Give him hell when he comes on, and he's already on. Give him hell. I think he's only got an hour and a half left, but go give him hell anyway. Be sure to check out John on Monday. You can catch him on Mondays and Thursdays right now, so be over there checking him out. Anybody who wants to submit, whether it's illustration or authors, be sure to go over to writersofthefuture.com. And if you want to buy something, galaxypress.com. If you're looking for this book particularly, just go to our website, click on the banner, and there you go. On that night, good night, and stay tuned for Spaced Out Crazy Man.